You guys are still at the Kettle Keep, meeting with Ozzy to discuss the next steps after teleporting out of the Undercroft, the kind of temple area beneath the Calderfell temple. You still have Avar with you, of course, as well as Sarah's family. Well, her father is still there, and so on. But Avar is, of course, still with you, at least where you're at now. I'll go ahead and move us over. There we go. Oh, I guess we're at the Kettle Keep technically, so let me move there. There we go. All right. So, discussion with Ozzy is still ongoing, so you guys are welcome to do as you choose. It is still technically the day of, so you guys had fought the Legion this morning, essentially. So it's about 12 p.m., 12:30 maybe, in the afternoon of that same day.
Luckily, we had such a great night's sleep the night before that I'm not feeling too bad. I actually still have 4 first-level spell slots available.
You guys made a lot better progress on that than I expected to. You didn't end up having to burn nearly as much resources as I thought you would.
We went really prepared, so that helped.
Yeah. Spending as much time as you did planning ahead of time certainly helped, yeah. Alright, so what are you guys doing?
Well, weren't we... So, right at the end, because I remember the last thing I remember was we were speaking with Ozzy, and we realized that coin that the thing left was probably some listening device. Mm-hmm. Are we still together, or did we split up after that?
No, you're all still together.
No. Yeah, right. We were still talking about where we were going next, and we were talking.
We need to speak in code. So just switch the third letter of each word to the first letter of the word.
Everybody empty your pockets.
Code breakers.
Everyone take out your coins! Put them in the oven.
Our secret decoder rings.
We just need to write notes, which is going to make this game extra hard.
I think we're okay in here. I mean, they've been coming in as people, not bugs.
I'm going to check all the areas in whatever room we're in. What room are we in?
Are we in the kitchen?
Are you in the kitchen still? All right. I'm going to start going through all the areas in the dining room that could be coins just to make sure. I'm going to check everything. And then we'll make sure we have one safe spot.
Theodore says, what are you looking for? These coins you're speaking of? Nobody's come in here. I mean, I've been here.
I'm going to bring my face right up to him and stare into his eyes.
Come on.
All right. You don't have any listening coins, do you, on you?
I mean, just my normal coins. I'm not made of bugs or anything.
You haven't picked up any new coins recently?
No.
And specifically,
there's not a lot of trade going on in this place.
You know, like pile of bugs, and you're like, oh, a coin, and then you grabbed it or anything like that.
No, I mean, at least as far as I know, nobody's been in here.
I'm still going through it. Like, I'm picking up plates and pots and shit while everyone else is doing whatever they're doing. I'm doing a thorough check to see if this is a safe room.
Ozzy speaks up then. So, you wanted to check out Cadogan then?
Yes.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah. At least go see what's there.
It couldn't hurt, at least. I mean, I don't expect that we'll find anything interesting there, but you're certainly welcome to do so. You got to be careful, obviously. Just the Legion didn't leave the area. The Vabian Legion, not the Legion that you all destroyed, but the Vabians haven't left the area, as far as I know. There's probably not much left of the town.
Well, hopefully we can find some kind of clue as to at least where the scales maybe.
He looks at Artemis, so you...
Sorry about that, dropped the pot.
He looks at Ozzy, or at Artemis, rather. So you will be able to take care of transportation there? Are you going to need transportation back?
I should be able... Well, since I'm making the tree... Or I'll have 2 trees here. I'll be able to port either of the trees back.
We already have a tree here?
You only need one here.
Yeah, we don't need to
you
make
can use the same
tree.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The trees aren't like linked together or anything. It's just any tree.
Just confuse the guys that are surrounding us. Why are they making all the trees? And then they'll have their tacticians confused, slumped over a table, adding little tree diagrams to their decisions.
Their spies will think that the trees
maybe
are...
Maybe they're making a giant, slingshot.
No, the people liked the shade from this tree, so I thought I'd add another one on the other side of the yard.
Yeah. Okay, new plan. What if we did make a giant slingshot out of 2 trees that you plant here?
I mean, that's not a terrible idea.
I mean, we'd climb up, what is it, 50, 70 feet? We just somehow find a large piece of elastic. We pull back, we light something on fire.
It
Just
is
spit
snowing
pollen.
outside.
I don't know if this is gonna.
I don't know if the fire is going to help you much.
Get a water balloon.
Slingshots have issues.
All right.
Wrong channel. Oh, I remember that. Wasn't that
Yeah.
like a
She hits herself in the fucking head. Or
Yeah,
it.
with a I think it's a
They-
sheet, with like a watermelon or something or
Yeah,
cantaloupe. or
click
something.
it. It's a video.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Can Sarah make a portal to get back, or does she need Ozzy's help for that?
Right now, I still need Ozzy's help until I can find the right ingredients for my spell.
Well, can't we just walk
Oh,
back through the tree there and back?
Because
then we'll
it's
come
a
to this
6th level. Well, I've cast a 7th level, I guess. So yeah, I could do it. I could get us there and back as
tree.
long
You have
as yeah.
7. Christ, you're a strong lady.
You don't end up needing to use it for something more valuable, but I
Yeah.
don't mind bringing you back. I just need an idea, ideally ahead of time, if I'm going to need to spend some energy to do so.
Okay, we'll try and let you know in a bit.
As far as resources, what is it that you need, Sarah?
I am shit. Hang on, I need to double check my spell.
I mean, you could study the circle here at the very least if you haven't already.
I actually was going to ask you about that. If you can write down a few of the circles that you've sent us to and some that we may need to go to eventually. I would like to have those on hand. But what I need is rare chalks and inks infused with precious gems worth 50 gold pieces.
I've got probably 300 or so left, so
Nice.
you're welcome to at least those. I'll need to save some, obviously, for those emergencies when you wake me up in the middle of the night and need a quick evac, but apart from that, you're welcome to have at least some of the resources I've got left.
That's some very expensive chalk.
That would be amazing, and once we make our trip to the capital at some point, I can just get some more there, so hopefully
Well,
we
that
won't
would be-
get more
Yeah, I may need you
emergency
to. Yeah, I may need you to go on a shopping trip for me then, because our contacts in the city are becoming fewer and farther between with Clover missing.
How much
So
more
while
room
you're
do we
there-
have in our magical bag?
Mhm.
Let's look.
Let's see here. I think we all have access to it.
Yeah, you
Yeah, you
should
should
have
be able to.
We gotta make sure. We might need another magical bag to bring all the things back.
that. That add-on is. Hang on, let me change the sheet for it because it referred it to the default sheet again because loot sheet was updated. Here we go. All right, it is back to loot sheet, which new version is really ugly, so I might have to fix that. Well, it doesn't have support for this add-on anyways. I don't see the bar either. You've been updating the sheet
Do
with
I
that.
have it on mine? No, I've got it on my character, so the character sheet bars are still there.
Yeah, your guys's are fine. The bag of holding is the loot sheet doesn't list the. That's probably because it's because it's an NPC. Yeah, that's fine. I don't remember exactly. I think it was at like 80-ish% if I remember right, somewhere there
Yeah,
about.
we're gonna need if you need a number of things, we're gonna need some way to get them back here.
Well, I mean, if you guys are intending to go to a specific time, I'll presumably need to send you there anyway. So, you can set your things aside, or I'll send you with another bag, whatever we need to do. We'll get it figured
there
out.
is some things we can take out of here and leave at the keep, like, I don't know, the sets of Juthrin heavy plate armor that I don't think any of us will need.
Why would you be carrying something so ridiculous?
You know that we put the helmet worked for this giant child before, but
But isn't
Well,
this
sure, but
bringing
we
some
need-
traumatic memories for you, Pogo? After what
Don't we-
happened?
Do we need the full
Is it too
set,
soon?
though?
no, I mean, can we sell it? Maybe someone will buy it. Are there a bunch of markings on it? Is it
Probably.
obviously
It is.
like
it is.
Juthrin's?
Oh yeah. It is
Like I can't
covered in
like
religious
scrape
iconography.
off some paint.
It's
No.
not. It's not the serial number on like a stolen handgun. This is like it's built to specific design.
How about this?
Yeah,
why
I
don't we put this out on a dummy so that people can use it as like a practice thing fighting?
That'd
We
be
don't want it
great.
just to go waste. Yeah,
Or
we'll
melt
give
it down to make weapons?
No. Let's just give it to them. Maybe someone out here could wear it. I mean, you're more of a ragtag bunch. Someone here might want some heavy plate armor. It might help. You can give it to the. Give it to the.
We have some Juthrans amongst the Crowblinders, though. I mean, Samson's a Juthran, remember?
Well, does he
Do we
need
need
any
They're
heavy
not
armor?
all. Do we need
As
what?
I'm like washing the blood off this one.
I
Does
was
he
gonna say,
want some
do we need to tell them where we got it?
heavily used? Found it.
But yeah, we don't
No,
need
my
that.
plan was to melt it down to make different armor with the metal.
We can. I mean, we can't. I don't know how to do that. I don't like.
No, I was gonna
Or
give it to the
cold.
weaponsmith here. I just forgot last time we were here.
It's just steel. I mean, the gold covering on it is just a gold plating. It's not that much more valuable than regular steel, and a lump of maybe a pound or so of gold. Has some value certainly, but as far as they're not rare materials or anything.
No, but they could be useful if people need armor.
Well, we are in a military encampment, so I'm sure if it weren't for the religious iconography, people would be willing to use them. But
I'm gonna go ahead and hand it. I'm just gonna start handing it to Abraham, and just can you just do us a favor? Can you just clean this up and then make sure it gets out to the quartermaster if anyone needs some heavy armor? Is that okay, everybody? I don't want to sell. I don't want to go into a town and try to sell this, and people be like, "Where'd you get it?" And be like, "Oh, murder!" I just don't want to have that conversation.
Yeah, no, that's not a good idea.
We don't have to melt it down. You'd have to melt it down, and it's just we already have such neat things like my, magical instruments
And exotic leathers.
and exotic letters. Yeah, he's forgot you were here, creepy man.
Abraham takes it from you very awkwardly. I mean, it's not that it's too heavy to carry. It's just very awkward to carry it without wearing it.
Yeah.
So he kind of takes an arm load. You kind of set the helmet on top, and he's very precariously trying to balance it as he's walking towards the door to make his way out.
Thank you, Abraham. You're a treasure. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
So it's fine.
Where's that kid? Did he go away with your father?
They're both
they're
still in the room.
here. Yeah,
Okay.
I was just
I'm
gonna
right here.
I was just gonna ask when they plan on leaving for the capital.
Who are you asking?
I'm asking my dad when he plans to leave.
I mean, I don't have, a bus pass or anything, so it's kind of up to you guys. It's not like I can take a carriage out of here.
Well, no, really, it's kind of up to Ozzy. He's the one.
It
that
is,
will
huh?
take you there. Yeah.
I mean, I could send them. It would probably be best to send them when you go, just so that they're, set in a safe place and everything.
So also, we need to give them. I don't have a lot of money, but we need to give them. We need to give you guys some gold to be able to put yourself up at hotels for a while. Do we know any?
Planned on it.
It's been a while since I've been to the capital. What's a nice place to stay? Anyone remember a nice place that you used to? Maybe a medium place, like a Motel 6. Some place where we can give them 20 gold and they can stay there for a few weeks until we can meet up with them in case.
I have no idea. I don't exactly spend a whole lot of time there, but I'm gonna hand my dad. Where's my inventory? Oh, I'm gonna hand him 75 gold.
Oh, that's plenty. There you go.
And just tell him to try to find a place, like an actual place, not just like.
No,
a
we need
hotel.
to find a name of a place so we can meet him later. We can't just send him out there.
I got this. I'm gonna send Noctua with them. She's going to spend a few days there. Hopefully, once they find a place, I will just vamp her back to me, and when we go to the capital, she should be able to lead us to where they are.
Yeah, right.
When you
can just
say a place, you want me to find us a decent inn where we can be safe?
I mean, if you
woman.
guys are.
I mean, we're not going to be able to buy anything with 75 gold. We could probably rent, if we can find a place.
What do you think we're going to give you money to buy a house in the capital just like that?
Okay,
Well,
I
I'm not
would
saying.
if I
In this
had it.
economy?
I'm not saying you should have given me enough to buy a house. That's ridiculous. What I mean is just that what are you wanting us to do? I can find just a decent flat for us to hole up until you show up. But I mean, how long are you think you're going to be before you show up? It'll be that long.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too long before we make it to the capital. The question is, how long do you plan to stay at the capital? Like, are you planning to... I mean, you gotta figure something out. You can't you can't spend your whole life living in an inn, and you can't really go home.
Your father's a
now.
smart man. Your father's a smart man. You can find, like, you can go there, you can relax. I don't think the trouble that found you where you were at is going to follow you all the way to the capital,
No.
right?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying he can't go home. If he plans to stay in the capital, I would prefer him to rent a place and start establishing himself instead of living in an inn. If he
He's not
doesn't
gonna-
plan to stay in the capital, then I'd say rent a room at an inn for a few weeks.
Grow some roots.
Or he could just, just whore it up. It's a vacation.
Oh my god, no,
Relax.
he's having a child go with him. It's
He's
not like
big
he's
enough.
gonna be alone.
It's got to learn sometime.
Yeah, he's growing up.
Wait, how old are you again,
He's
Eva?
like 11.
Oh, yeah, no, too young. Too young.
Just forgot how old he was, apparently.
The size throws you off.
Well, he can relax, he can practice with his bow, maybe find an archery club to join.
Exactly, so they should.
God, you guys are, I will admit, I'm going to step back and look at him. You're going to make a weird pair. Just walking around the city. You might want to come up with a story, like, you
I
adopted
adopted
him.
him and he just grew.
Yeah, he's
I didn't
cursed.
know he was part young.
He's cursed when you adopted him. And he grows 3 times larger than normal.
Why does he have to be cursed?
I mean, it just seems
just a
simpler.
kid.
Well,
I
he
mean,
doesn't
just
have
because
to.
my dad is super small doesn't mean that. Well, I mean, he's bigger than your average kid, but he's not like freakishly huge, right?
He's pretty big. I mean, it's fine. I mean, you guys will be all right. The capital's a busy place. There's lots of people. You might not blend in, but you're not going to be that much of a strange oddity walking around the streets.
I mean, it's a big city.
Sure.
From all over.
Have you ever been to a big city, Ava?
No.
It's going to be exciting for you.
Make sure you stick close to my dad.
Or not. It's fine. You're young.
But
You'll
what
you'll
if
bounce
I-
back.
What if I lose him? There's lots of people, though. What if I lose him in the crowd and I can't find him?
Well, you
Why
can
don't
always join a traveling circus.
Oh my god, no. Well, I have a terrible suggestion. You could always put him on your shoulders and you guys could just walk around that way.
I'm just gonna wide eye her.
Don't act like you haven't done that to
You're
Norak
supposed
100
to
times.
Say that.
Yeah, I mean, you gave me the idea here. I mean, Avar wouldn't be hard to pick out in a crowd, but, me and my dad are kind of short, so we'd be easily lost in a crowd.
I'm sure I can find something for us to stay safe, someplace for us to get lodgings and food anyways until we're able to reunite again. You don't think it'll be long?
It shouldn't be too terribly long.
Ozzy interrupts. He says, you do intend to go investigate what those keys open, though, first, right?
Yeah, we probably should.
As you described it, that situation, he's being careful due to the people that are present, will likely be found before long. So, if you're investigating Cadogan, by all means, but I wouldn't leave that there for too long, because in case the Empire finds it ahead of time.
Well, we're gonna go first thing in the morning, is my assumption.
Yeah, but that's in the opposite direction of where you want to go look for the scales.
Wait.
No, well, okay. So here, I'll bring up the world map for you. It's in the same direction. It's just not nearly as far.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the scales were the key.
I'm talking about the thing that we found on the way to do Nora.
Yes, that.
That thing? Oh,
the
I don't
keys
care
are
about that thing.
Well, someone does.
Oh, the creepy guy floating over here in the corner? Mr. Oatmeal?
Yeah, I mean, Nazim seems very interested in it.
I could hold it.
I'm interested in it as well, though. I mean, those keys have to go for something.
There weren't any trees around that area, were there?
No, we're in the desert.
No.
Not very. It's a savanna, so not usable trees. Let's say like scrub growth, like small, withered kind of wiry trees, basically, but not anything big enough for you to transport through. No. But it's not that far from the circle that Ozzy teleported you to, where you fell out sideways. It's not that far from there. It's only like half.
It's like a hop, skip, and a jump right away from there. So.
Yeah. Which
I want
of
to go
those
back to
Ozzy
Cadogan.
can give you the transportation to?
I don't imagine we'll be in Cadogan.
So we go check out Cadogan, which shouldn't take too long, and then we'll teleport to the other place, and then try to go to the capital.
I don't think either would take you that long. So going to, depending on what you find in Cadogan, anyways, depending on what trouble you get into there, I doubt that'll take you too long. Checking out the situation on the plains probably won't take that long, and then you could head to the capital after that if that's your goal.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
All right. Then you intend to sleep the rest of the day?
Yes.
Got your travel arrangements so you guys don't get lost.
What time is it?
This
It's
point,
hard to
about 1
tell
o'clock.
with all the snow falling down around me.
Yeah, about 1 o'clock.
1 in the afternoon.
Yep.
I don't feel that tired. I have all my hit dice, all my hit points. I'm a little light on my spell slots, but I'm not that sleepy. I'm probably.
I didn't mean you need to go to sleep. I meant, are you just going to rest the rest of the day then, and then I can send you out in the morning? Is that your goal?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Make
I guess never
trees.
mind. If you're taking care of it yourself anyways, then I don't really need to worry about it. So, I guess I can actually get back to work without further interruption.
Real quick, one last question. If we do find the thing we're looking for in Cadogan, do you want us to bring it back here, or do you want us to make sure it doesn't come back here?
I would like you guys actually discussed this a little bit last week. I would very much like it if you would let me know at least, and then we can discuss a plan. I may come to you and we can figure it out.
I forgot you like the micromanaging. That's fair.
Here's the thing. All honestly, I will leave it up to you guys. If you want to take it straight to the commander and let him decide, so be it. But it would be potentially more advantageous for the political position where we're in if this was discussed ahead of time.
All right.
But I'll leave it up to you. I mean, you're doing all the work anyways.
Throw it in a well somewhere.
All right. Well, I'll be probably in my study, if not in the war room with the commander. So if you need me, just let me know.
I'm actually going to go with him so I can copy down some circles.
Sure.
So I at least have some at our disposal.
All right. So Sarah's running off with Ozzy then. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm gonna go make a few trees around because people like the shade.
Okay.
How long did it take you to make those mushrooms last time? They came in handy when we got those ogres shit hammered.
Right, I have a few.
I think it was about a week. Let me look real quick at when that was.
Yeah.
If it's an option, or if there's any more growing in whatever dirt mound you have up in your tower. Can I have a few more?
Let's see. 312. I think it was about 4 doses, right? If I remember right, that you already have made.
But I put all the doses that I had into the big thing of ale. That works.
Oh, okay. 312. That was the first. So it's been 10 days. So about a week and a half since she started the growth, and there was enough for about 4 more doses that she pulled out earlier in the day. Today. So, what are you guys doing?
Can we put gold in the lockbox? In my lockbox over here?
Sure. In your room?
Yeah, I'm actually looking at my lockbox. I'm trying to find where to put gold. Inventory.
I think it's just the inventory at the top of the... Oh, that's interesting. There is... Huh. I thought there would be one. Just hit add, Sako. So where you have the inventory section, so you go to the features tab, and then the inventory section there, you see that?
Yep.
Where the stuff is right now. Just click add at the top of that, specifically under inventory there. And then just title it X number of gold, 500.
Under my lockbox or Nazim?
Nazim's lockbox.
I'm in the Nazim's lockbox, and I have attributes, features, spellbook, effects,
so
and
go-
biography.
Go to features, the second tab,
Gotcha.
and then you see a section below that says inventory, which is where rations and all that stuff is. To the right of inventory is a plus button where it says add.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Did it?
Yep, and then just title it, however much gold it's going to be.
Oh. All right. Let me go ahead and pull that up.
It doesn't have, a section for coins, so you just do it that way.
Gotcha. I have 320 gold, so I'll move 320 gold into here.
Sure.
And I'll just edit, call it 320 gold.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't have a lockbox, but I was going to go and grab my banjo and restring it with the string that I kept from it, because I'm feeling less depressed about my current situation.
Cool.
As of now, starting to feel hopeful.
Okay, I'm going to zero out this. All right, Nazim zeroed out now. Just silver and copper in a pocket.
Okay. All right. Then Pogo's out. Pogo and Nazim are both in their rooms doing, regular maintenance type stuff. Let's say Sarah's out copying down circles. Sarah, I'll give you the list of which ones that he is able to give you in the meantime, and as well as the resources for them. Artemis, what is it said you were doing?
I was going to plant some trees and make them grow because people like the shade.
That's right. Okay. And then Norok. What you doing, G?
I'm going to take Avar with me over to the armory, and I'm going to get him a short sword so we can practice, but I'm also going to get him a little dagger too, so that way he can have it with him when he goes to the city too.
Okay.
So go find ones that fit him as good as possible.
Okay.
Show him how to use it a little bit.
All right.
While I'm in my while I'm in my room, I'm just going to take some more time and look over the tome of Ulitharis?
Ulatharid. Yeah, Ulatharid is the So Illithid. You know the word Illithid.
Mm-hmm.
That's the species that mind flayers are, and Ulatharid is an evolved version of that. It's a smarter, faster, strong, like a bigger version of it. And the tome is one of theirs. That's what you have. All right. Then anybody, I guess, so you have until the morning. Are you guys doing anything else after that, or is everybody just kind of, relaxing and everything after, their? Well, I guess it depends on really when Artemis is ready to teleport you. You don't have to wait till morning. It's really up to you.
No, we should wait till morning.
Yeah, I want to get a long rest in to make sure all my spell slots are back and everything's cooled out.
Okay.
Yeah, he needs 2 more spell slots to study, so.
Okay. Ozzy does tell you that Sarah, specifically, since you guys are having discussion, or since you're with him anyways, that you would probably be best. It's up to you. You can certainly approach Cadogan during the day as well, but because there are soldiers surrounding it still, it'd probably be best to try to approach it at night at least. But, do as you will.
Okay.
You just would probably be able to, sneak around a little bit better if you're not in broad daylight.
I will talk to the group and see what they want to do. But you're right, that sounds like a smarter idea.
He does give you, I'll make a list here, the Wuod Plain Circle, which is, you already know where that one is, it's where the Zenithal Fray was held. Gives you this
That's not right.
WUOD Plains, and the Circle of, the one here in the Crow Fort. Now that one, keep in mind, it goes where the Crow Fort goes. Right now it's here, but if the Crow Fort were to move, it would be at the new location. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It would move with it, so... that one gives you one that originally, when he, when the intent was for it may still be for him to send Theodore and Avar to the city. Usually, he sends them to when he's using, let's say, a circle in the city, in the capital to send people to. There's one that's down the street. There's just a little shack, basically, that very few people ever pay any attention to, just because it's down an alley a little ways. But it's not far from an inn called the Gypsy's Gaze. And that's where he would, recommend sending Avar and Theodore, even if they don't stay at the Gypsy's Gaze, which is a nice place, but it is friendly to the Crowblinders, so it's why they tend to use that space anyways. But that's in the capital of Mist. And he gives you enough for 4 castings.
Well, hopefully we can pick up some more of this and Yeah, I will get as much as I can.
Okay.
I don't have a whole lot of gold to buy stuff with, but whatever I can get, I will give you some.
Well, I mean, if you're coming back here first, just let me know, and we'll figure out, I guess, what, or I guess you can just talk to me over the banana phone, and we can figure out what you can carry, because we're getting a little low on resources here, and if I have to go back, I'd end up just wasting some just to bring more back. So, plus it's not particularly safe for me in the capital at the moment, anyways.
There's reason it's not safe for you in the capital?
This, and he kind of waves over his face.
I
I can hide it. I can hide it, obviously, but there's a lot of magical protection in the city. Certainly, the closer you get to the center of the capital, where the emperor is. But looking like a Seardaman in the city is not good these days.
I assume that. I meant other than that.
That's primarily it, but my face is well enough known there that it's, I would have to hide it, and there's a lot of protections, things that will see through that, so my disguise may not hold for long.
Well, thank you for these, and thank you for taking care of my dad while he's been here, sending him off.
It was easy enough. He's a pleasant enough fellow.
Yeah, he's not too bad.
Well, be safe on your incursion out there. I'm very curious what is in that crash. It's I've heard whisperings of things, and I didn't give them much credence until you had spoken of that. But both between that ship and the presence of the creature that we killed out there in the Reverend, in that temple, that ruined temple out there, I'm becoming more concerned with it. So certainly let me know what you find.
Anything you heard about that might be in there that we need to worry about?
I haven't heard anything about their style of transportation as such, so I'm interested in its nature and its design, I guess, but I guess my interest is more its contents, and I really have no idea what would be in there. So it could be anything. I imagine it'll be hostile, so I wouldn't go in expecting a friendly welcome, considering how they attack us at every site. But
no. Oh, and I'm gonna tell him about that little weird thing that was following us around up there.
Okay. I assume you're referring to the little
dragon
void
thing.
Yeah,
void
the
thing.
little gargoyle. Yeah, the little little hole in space gargoyle. Stargoyle, if you will. Because there's stars behind him in the void. So I've never heard of such a thing, but these creatures clearly come from somewhere far enough away that their nature is far different to ours. So I guess gather what information you can. Maybe if it doesn't seem hostile, it didn't sound like it was, right?
No, it was just, it almost seemed more curious than anything. It just kind of was keeping an eye on us, but it wouldn't leave the ship.
Well, I mean, better that than the alternative, I suppose. Almost everything we meet that has come from where these creatures come from is hostile, so all the better if this one was at least not at least outwardly hostile. Maybe we can make a friend.
I guess we'll see once we actually open that door if it's going to be nice or not.
Well, let me know what you find at least.
I will. Alright, and then
you guys just kind of hear from the middle of the keep. And I'm gonna go leave and I'm gonna go try to find any corpses that are recent within the last 10 days. Just out of curiosity, if there are any.
They don't generally just keep corpses around.
Oh, perhaps maybe there's someone that tried to sneak in that died or got murdered.
Yeah, but they don't just leave them. I mean, they would dispose of them, usually burial or whatever else. But I guess give me a better idea. Are you talking like
I want to go find either a corpse from one of the people who's on our side, or a corpse from maybe an enemy that tried to sneak in that is less than 10 days old. I want to talk to it. So I'm
a very specific request.
Are you going to go ask anybody about where you might find such a thing, or are you just going to look around and see?
First, I want to look around, and because it's a weird request, And I'm
Very.
going to feel a little self-conscious about asking people that. So I'm going to look around a bit, and then I am going to. I'll probably try to find strings if I can. I'm going to ask around to see if anyone can tell me where strings is,
Okay.
and then I'm going to see if he can teach me anything on the banjo, and I'm going to bring it up subtly during conversation. Are there any dead people around?
That's a really awkward one to try to pull up, but all right. So first, I guess for just trying to look around, like the DC is going to be practically impossible, but give me an investigation check.
Well, the good news is I have like a +2 to that one, so I'm sure it'll be fine.
You spend a good half an hour walking around, just trying to suss out where these, because obviously nobody's just going to leave a body, laying in the middle of the snow if somebody had snuck over the wall or anything like that. So nothing there. But you keep looking and looking, trying to figure out where they might be disposing of bodies, because this is, a war camp. People are dying around here. Certainly when as the commander had told you, when they found and then resealed the other end of the secret tunnel, there was a skirmish then, so there were bodies left over at that point. Probably both, Croblinder and Vavian. But you don't have any luck in figuring out where that place might be.
All right, and no strings that I can find.
You can find strings just fine. So you check with a soldier outside of the central keep. I think he's at the Crow's Nest. He's technically off today, so he could be anywhere. But last I saw, anyways, he was in there playing. So you might check there.
Playing?
When he gets a little sauce on him, he likes to try. Would say he's great at it, but
I'm gonna go duet with strings.
and now you're making me wish I was off. How long are you gonna be in there?
17 minutes, maybe an hour to two, between 15 and 125 minutes for sure.
All right. Well, if I hear you wailing in there, I'll see if I can make it. I'll cheer extra loud.
Mr. Man Person, you?
All right.
I'm not going to bother getting their name. Yeah.
All right. All right. And you, sure enough, when you make your way to the Crow's Nest, he is in there. He's not currently playing, but he is sitting at a table, nursing a drink, and kind of leaned back at this, using the table to keep himself from tipping over, leaned back in his chair with his broken banjo.
All right. I'm going to go sit next to him. Strings, how are you, my friend?
Doing all right. Had
I've got to
nice
say,
enough day off shift.
You look great with your new look. It looks absolutely fantastic. Have people been complimenting you on your new digs, your new cut?
He lifts his hat off, and you see that he's had to basically shave it off because you kind of butchered his hair. I mean, I wouldn't say they're complimenting, but at least it itches a lot less.
There you go. See, always a plus. Silver lining. Oh,
How've your trips been?
Terrifying, and not that productive. I guess. I almost saw a child die, so that's interesting. Speaking of dead children, are there? I was wondering, while we were gone, have you guys been experiencing? Have any of these, infiltrators from outside the gates gotten in? Are we killing them when they get inside and then burying their bodies, or are we piling up and burning them? What are you doing with them?
Well, the Vabians, yeah, we burned them.
Oh, you burn them. Oh, yeah. That's good to know. Good to know. I was always curious about that. Seen any bug people around? Or found any coins in strange places?
The 3. I mean, I imagine you heard about those. It's at least from what I was told. It happened right over there, and he kind of points at the table.
All right.
So, I mean, they were, not much left of them after the boys were done stomping.
No, that's fair.
What are you looking for? Clearly, you're asking about something.
I was curious. I've got a special ability. Do you? What are your feelings on magic? I should probably ask you that. What do you? Do you not like it? Is it against your religion, or do you believe in the power of magic?
I personally am not a big proponent myself, but that's probably would be different if I had the that kind of capability, let's say. But as far as its use, it's saved us many a time. It's a necessary evil at the very least.
I'm not gonna be able to quite. I'm like, well, I have this ability. I learned it recently, and I can kind of almost speak with a dead corpse. And I wanted to see if I could convince an enemy to maybe fill in some details of things we haven't seen. But if they're all burnt, mostly I wanted to try to get myself, maybe ask some questions and get myself in the headspace to understand more of what they might be trying to do or what they're thinking about when they entered here. And it's wars aren't always fought by the people doing them; they're fought by the people telling them what to do. And I want to find out if
When I know
maybe
it.
there's something they know, something that they could help us know, getting more of their headspace of what they're thinking and what's going through their minds. It's not a necessity. It's just something that I was thinking about.
I was going to ask that. Is this would, if not critical, certainly useful to the mission the commanders put you on? Then
It's more of a hobby. It's not really mission critical. This is something that I was thinking about, and we've been going into some spaces that make me think more about the, I guess, importance of life, whether it be us or them, and just bringing an end to all the bloodshed. And something was itching on the back of my mind about speaking to one of them, even though I'm not going to go out there and try to do it. But I figured if there was one passed on to the next area of life, if I could maybe speak with them. But it's not like I said, it's not a big deal.
well, more than once they've incurred on our space here. So if it happens again, and I happen to be posted nearby, I can try to prevent the boys from burning the body at least long enough for it to get word to you, and then you can try talking to it if you think it'd be useful.
I mean, that would be fine as long as I don't want you to. Let's
No,
just
I
say
mean
there might be some
the commander
people-
keeps promoting me no matter how much I insist otherwise.
That's fair.
So
I don't want to.
I think that I've earned enough good faith that if I tell him this could be useful, then he's not gonna
Something
push
to
too
keep
hard.
in your mind. And remember that this type of magic, I don't know if everyone here is comfortable with. I know we're fine with, dead children sometimes, but this might push some people over the edge. And I don't want to, just make sure that, I don't want everyone knowing this business if it's going to make them uncomfortable. So keep that
Cadre
in mind.
the Cadre mages don't really socialize with us much anyway, and the rest of us jarheads aren't going to be concerned about it as long as we trust you to not do anything stupid. If you bring in anything that's a problem and get people
quite the
killed, that might
compliment.
change. But
Quite the compliment.
I realize I did just say that while you're wearing my hair, so maybe
Yeah.
that was stupid of me. But
I imagine by this point too, by the way, that the fake mustache and beard that I've also made is kind of falling off in a number of places. It probably looks pretty absurd.
yeah, I would say it probably it looked fine at first, but it was definitely not. This was
It was
not
like
built
4
in
days ago, and
yeah, and plenty of mud and
Mhm.
blood by now. So
all right. Well,
I'll see what I can
appreciate
do. If I happen to be stationed at the tunnel and they try to break through or anything again, I can try to squirrel one aside. I wouldn't want to leave it for more than a day or two, but if you guys make it back in time and I can find you, I'll at least let you know that it's there and you can try.
it. Would you like to do a duet with me? Do you want to perform in front of what small number of people are actually in here?
Absolutely, this thing is busted as all hell, but I'll give it a shot.
Right, and I'm gonna do a duet with strings. I'll back him up for this
Okay.
one. I'll play my instrument while he sings a song. And that's I'm gonna hang out there and have a few beers.
Okay.
While other people do what they're doing.
All right. Then that takes care of Pogo. Then at least for the afternoon.
I think an hour. Yeah, hour. and a
Okay,
half.
Fox. It takes you a couple hours at least to grow the trees.
Yeah.
About an hour each tree. So if you're gonna put a little grove up, it's gonna take you just a little while. Norok is with Avar doing some trainings that'll take a little while too. Sarah, you about wrapped up with Ozzy as far as it didn't take you that long to jot down the diagrams for the circles. Anything else that you're doing with that?
With the circles and stuff, no, I'm just gonna go spend some time with my dad, and at some point before I go to sleep, I'm going to spend 2 hours
Studying again?
studying that scroll. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then Nazim,
Yep. So going
gonna
back.
keep reading your tome.
Yeah, pretty much what I'm just going to do is go through the tome, see if anything's happening with that, see
Okay.
if I can see type of visions. Preparing for a long rest because I want to make sure that I'm fully charged up for the next morning.
Okay.
And just being generally creepy, still eating very bland food and keeping to myself, but segregated from the group, just in my room trying to, I don't want to say meditate and zen myself out because it's not so much meditation as it is just a willful need to slip into chaos with this tome.
Okay.
And I guess it's a form of meditation, I guess.
All right.
But yeah.
All right. Give me an. I guess Arcana's not right, but it would still be, because you have proficiency, and it would still be intelligence proficiency. So that'll work. Give me an Arcana check.
Arcana check.
Okay. Some minor details I'll give you here in a whisper here in a minute.
Okay, I'll add that to my notes.
All right. Then anybody else do anything else for the evening?
Oh.
Oh yeah, Sarah was gonna. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to use message to let anybody who's in the keep still, I'm assuming everyone besides Pogo and Norok, know that Ozzy said it would be best to go at night, but I mean, we can talk as a group in the morning about it.
Okay. All right. Then Sarah, give me 2 Arcana checks for your studying.
Here we go. Not anything but like a 5. Oh, an 8.
Hey, it was 15. No,
Always
15 was the DC. So
Oh, yay.
1 success. All right, 2 successes.
That
All right.
was all I needed.
Yep.
Yeah.
For the channeling.
Oh,
right.
and then I had a question about the chronal inversion. So, say I like have a lever pulled down with my hand, and then I use that. Does the semi-translucent image still hold that lever? Or does the lever go back up?
It is not a physical construct. So if it required resistance, then the lever would just go back up.
Okay, that was exactly what I wanted to know.
Yeah. There's no physical shape to it. It is in the same position that you left it, but it doesn't have mass. So, and you were studying specifically the channeling spell, right?
Yeah, I think that was the only one I had left.
Okay, all right.
Because I got the other one. Yeah, because it was just those 2, right?
Right. Yeah, and you already got the inversion one. I think the first try, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And finished with that. All right. Just taking some notes there.
I don't think so.
All right, then go ahead and apply your long rests, everybody. If you're going to bed, anyways, go ahead and apply your long rest for the morning.
Oh, I need to look at my scroll before I go to sleep. That's probably a good idea.
Okay.
And let them know that we made it out.
I just noticed something here.
Oh.
We've had quite a few long rests since that battle where I used my Staff of Retribution to cause that cage to wrap around that one boss. Every time I hit a long rest, it doesn't add a charge back, and I think it's supposed to add a charge back in the morning, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't. Not for this one. It is. Hang on.
And I'm not sure how many mornings have passed since I caged that thing.
Yeah, it doesn't have any way to automatically add 1 charge in that way. Let's see. Regains 1d4 plus 1 recharges daily at dawn. That was multiple days ago, so it's almost certainly been. Well, the thing is, you've used it again since then. It's not like that wasn't the last time you used it. You used it. Used Force Gauge again to keep the White Frost that feeds out of the temple. Remember?
Yeah,
the door?
and that dragon thing. Yeah, trying to break
that
in.
was another 6 charges, and that's I think why it's still at 4 now, and that was 2 days ago. So roll 2d4, and it'll be plus 2.
2d4. Okay.
You're at 4 now, so it'll be plus 4 plus whatever you roll here. So 2d4 plus 2.
2d4.
All right, so there you go. All right, so you're back to
10. Okay,
Cool.
perfect.
Yeah, it won't automatically do that, so just remember to do that after long rests if it's not currently full.
Gotcha. All right, we're good
All right.
again.
Then morning comes. Arteme, you managed to. I mean, if you were spending your whole afternoon, you could have gotten 6 or 7 trees done if you chose to. Would be a pretty boring afternoon for you, but you're welcome.
No, that's all good.
Okay. All right, then you get a little copse of trees growing on the southeast side of the Crow Fort there, or the center keep in the Crow Fort. Morning comes, though it is quiet. You haven't heard anything major. There's been constant, shift changes essentially in the guard outside, but that's about it. You do notice that when you guys are outside, there are a lot more Crowblinders up on the ramparts. They haven't been previously. There were fewer of them, at least when hostilities were very high initially, because there were archers, of course, so they just didn't stay up there. But now it seems like they're, constantly up there, and they're behind. They're not standing up; they're behind the ramparts enough to be able to peek out. But there's a lot more vigilance. It seems like since the spies that had come over recently. So what are you doing?
Are there more than like the day before when we got back?
No. About the same as
just
they were.
more.
Yeah,
Okay.
you guys just you guys had arrived inside, and it basically, rested and everything. About the same as it was the previous day. But there was one more spy yesterday at this point. So.
Was it still early? How early is it? Is it like dark out still a little bit?
8 a.m. ish.
Ah,
There's
fuck.
room for breakfast.
What were you trying to? I mean, if you were trying to, you could have gotten up early, if you chose to.
Well, I wanted to get up early so we could still go in the dark, but apparently I slept in.
Oh, well, no, that's fine. So, I mean, if you guys were planning for this, that's fine. Sarah had told you guys at 1:30-ish yesterday that you guys should try to go while it's dark.
I mean, would that be all right with everyone if we retconned and we went to bed early and got up at like 4 o'clock in the morning? By the way, there are real humans that live in this world that wake up at 4 a.m. and then go to the gym. Ben, you might know them. Fucking, are you serious with these people? 4 o'clock. Do you do that, Ben?
No, I'm not that early. But
Jesus.
years ago, I used to start working out at 4 a.m. when I was working out with a friend of mine.
So that made me realize apparently you can do that. That's a thing people can do.
There is a 4 a.m. There is.
There's a 4 a.m. I've gone to
Yeah, not
bed
just
at
Not
4
just
a.m.
PM. Yeah, it's not just PM. There's an
Yeah.
AM too.
It's usually the time to get home from drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine with me though. If that's what you guys want to do.
Why don't we go to bed early? It was early in the afternoon. We can all have a nightcap super early in the evening. I'm going to eat way too much food. And then I'm going to go into a food coma at like 7 p.m.
All right.
Well,
that-
in
Go
that
ahead.
case, because I'm assuming my dad won't be up at 4 a.m. I mean, he's not that early of an ariser, I don't
No,
think.
halflings traditionally are noon.
Yeah, I know.
it's a very late sleeping kind of folk in
Totally
general.
used to it.
So I'll give him the 75 gold that night, and then give him. I will have Noctua stay with him, and just. So she's gonna stay with you. When you go, take her with you to the capital.
Do I need to feed her or anything? She
Nope.
doesn't talk. I don't know what to do.
Nope.
I've never
You can
cared for a
just-
bird before.
You don't need to care for her. She doesn't need to eat. She doesn't sleep. I mean, just kind of love on her. She likes it. But, I mean, other than that, she's not a real owl. She's a familiar. She's
So
gonna...
you're saying if things get real dark and we're out of food and we need a snack,
You can't eat her. She's not, like... She'll just disappear.
what if we try?
She'll just disappear. There
right.
won't be anything there. Sorry.
I like this kid.
So she'll stay with you. When we get to the capital, I will call her back to me, and then, I mean, she disappears, you know that we're in the capital at least, and I'll try to get her to lead me to where you guys are staying. Ozzy said that the inn close to where he's sending you is friendly to Crowblinders. It's the Gypsy's Gaze. So if you can't find anything, there is at least that.
Okay. Well, then, I mean, I guess we'll see if we can stay there if they have halfling rooms. Although, I guess he probably wouldn't fit in a halfling room. Maybe we'll need a regular
little
room.
Bigger.
Yeah. Then I guess we'll hopefully see you in a few days.
Might be more than just a few days. Well, hopefully not more than like 3 or 4. I'm hoping.
Okay. Well, just be careful.
I'm always careful. We're fine.
Bye, Pop Pop.
He gives you
By
a
the
hug
way-
and he pats Smogo on the shoulder.
I have told him all about like the ritual and everything that we did on the mountain, excluding the dragon, the ghosts, and the legion.
So
Oh,
you
so
left
just
out the
told him to
dangerous
let them
stuff.
walk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you,
we went on a
you
nice
guys-
chilly walk.
yeah,
Yeah,
a really
not
cold
like-
hike.
There
That
was
was all.
there was a blizzard, but it wasn't, dragon related blizzard.
Avar speaks up. But those are all the boring parts. You're not going to tell him about all the scary parts?
No. There are no scary parts. And
He looks at Avar.
Avar's just gonna hear in his head, please do not tell my dad any of this. He will freak out.
His eyes go really wide. He's very confused for a moment. And then he like nods very, very vociferously. He doesn't say anything because he's not sure whether to think it or say it out loud. So he just like nods really hard.
Thank you.
Your dad looks at, what did you do? Why is
Nothing.
he?
He's a kid. I don't know. He's a kid.
Kids
there were no dangerous
kids aren't
parts.
that weird.
He has been through traumatic experiences. I mean, his whole village disappeared. Or got, demolished. Anyways, we're gonna leave super early in the morning while you're still sleeping, so I'm gonna head to bed. Goodbye.
All right. Then leaving that, you have enough for. Well, I guess you're not using a circle to get there. So, 4 a.m. 4 a.m. is when you guys are getting up. Because you'll probably have about two hours of it still being like decently dark, and then it'll start to be dawning. So you're going to start seeing the sun coming up over the mountains.
Now wait, we aren't showing up in the city. We're showing up in the swamp, which is still a ways travel, isn't it?
Yeah, there aren't trees in this city, not of this size. Yeah, I mean it's a halfling village, so
I felt like maybe we'd be able to still get to the outskirts of the city.
I mean it'll be close. So Arteme knows some of the bog trees. They're black gum trees. There's another tree that is big enough, but then you'd follow the water if that was the case. The ones I'm talking about in swamps, the big ugly, goddamn, what's the name of that tree? It has weird split roots that are always like growing out of the water. But if you try to teleport into one of them, they're plenty big, but you would end up falling straight to the water if you pass through those. But black gum trees are usually on ground, and those are big enough. But Arteme knows where some are for sure.
About how long would it take us to get to Cadogan from there?
I mean, Arteme can get you, within a quarter mile, maybe a few hundred yards.
No, that's
not far.
Yeah, we're gonna have to be.
You'll be on the road for the most part, so you'll still be in the kind of marsh lands, but you'll be on the road, on the way towards town. So.
All right. So then, are we leaving at 4, or should we leave earlier?
4 sounds fine.
Yeah, 4
we're
is
not
fine.
We're not gonna be able to search through the buildings at night. So the thing is, like, if we can get into the city, once we're there, it's not going to matter as much. We'll have enough cover to move around, but I don't want to be like moving around in complete darkness inside this city, and we can't use the lights.
No, but I mean, some of us can still see, so we can still, get us.
Must be nice.
Where we might be able to like use a little bit of light and not be seen.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind getting there. If that 5 o'clock in the morning, hopefully the cloud cover's not too bad. We got some moonlight to move around the buildings, and we can maybe get an eye on where they, if there are enemies inside the town, we can get an eye on them as far as their main locations and try to avoid it. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't have. Can you see in the dark?
120 feet.
Christ. Who can't see? Am I the only one that can't see in the dark?
No. Can't.
Norak, see? Me and Norak, Arteme, surprise on that one. So, I mean, it's just, if we're looking for a thing, we should just have a little bit of light, morning light, that blue light that kind of is enough for us to move around. It'll be like camping, like waking up in that dew-covered morning light.
Alright, we should be extra careful, because if we can see them, they can see us.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are heading out at 4 a.m. then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, 4 a.m.
All right, Arteme, you prepare the tree. You begin to make the jelly-like non-Newtonian fluid, Justin, appearance on the trunk of the tree. Everybody rushes through. Let me click it. There we go. Now it'll play. All right, and after being so acclimated to the terrible... Oh, that's too bad. Hang on. I didn't put the right vision on here, so nobody can see anything. Hang on a second. Let me fix that. Turn off vision, and we don't need fog exploration, and we have unrestricted vision range. There we go. Now everybody should be able to see, right? All right. So early morning, extremely early in the day, obviously still dark, but after being so used to the dry freezing from the icy mountains and from the growth fort, this kind of instant pressure chain of thick humidity hits you like a wall. The atmosphere here is dense, and there's little flitting bite-me's and other small insects, and the stench of the stagnant marsh water just envelops all of you, worsening the already stomach-turning nausea that you're used to feeling due to magical travel. The only pleasant thing of this arrival is the familiar distant echoes of Chorus's song, the blue moon above. A few more days and the blue moon will be full again. It'll be full like 14th, 15th, and today's the 11th now. Yeah, you slept, so it's 11th now. So you have this kind of constant mournful dirge echoing around, especially because it's still essentially nighttime. You can see from the road here, you're in this kind of boggy area, but the road itself is 20 feet wide, just dirt road. It's not, there's no stones, no paving or anything. But down slope, remember, it's just this big kind of 45-degree downward slope that leads down towards Cadogan and the coast, maybe, a few hundred yards. You see the coastline and the ruins of what was Cadogan a little over a month ago. It was a little over a month before when it was raised, when you guys came back on the ship. There's a dim magical glow emanating from different parts of the ruined town, but there's no large light sources. There's no braziers. There's no big fires. There's no smoke from chimneys or anything you can see like that. Give me perception checks. Probably just Artem. Actually, Artem can't see that far in the dark either. Nobody can.
But either.
All right. Well then,
perhaps.
that's true. Let's see for a local. No, well, this is much too far. I mean, yours is 90 feet.
Yes,
Sarah's got 120
close.
feet. Yeah, we're talking a few hundred yards down the road. But as far as close, though, everybody give me a perception check for nearby things. Not Artemay.
Artemay get a one?
Yeah, Ben should have been. Yeah, she did. Which is, of course.
Artemay, roll again.
You're gonna let her re-roll?
I'm within 30 feet. We just showed up.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off there by grabbing your butt. When we came through, I accidentally grabbed your butt, but it's dark here, and I thought it was a tree. Didn't mean to throw you off there, Artemay.
Norok, Nazim, and Pogo. There's very what's that for? Oh, okay.
Iron.
Never mind. Artemay actually has to. Well, she doesn't have to. She can still contest the roll, but it would potentially believe your false claims. Anyway, there is Norok. At least you catch it first. Nazim and Pogo, you both recognize that there's clearly like humanoid shapes moving between the black gum trees. It seems that you are noticed. Your arrival through the tree as you run out from it does create a certain amount of commotion and light, of course, and then as you are kind of catching yourselves and kind of holding your stomach a little bit just from the nausea, you were certainly noticed as you arrived. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna point at them and get everyone's attention. Just kind of get their eyes over on them. That way everybody sees it.
Just have my hand in my weapon just in case.
You see then, Nazim, when you point at them, you point at the kind of movement rather that you saw. A woman steps out, dressed in Beck-like garb, the Vabian kind of the general force of the Vabian soldiers. Full head to toe in this kind of vaguely brassy armor. She's a human female, olive skin, wide eyes. She's got these short black braids that are ringed in gold. And a couple of other soldiers, some males, a mix of male and female, Becklights step out from behind trees, all of them holding spears in your direction. Who are you?
Finally. We've been looking for you. This is the third tree we've jumped through trying to find you. We heard you were supposed to be back at the town watching it. You didn't know about us? We're the ones supposed to be infiltrating the enemy camps? Hence the way we're dressed in this garb that we're wearing.
I'm gonna. Okay, normally I would just flat out say that there's no chance of success with that because that wouldn't make any sense. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you a chance, but it's literally gonna have to be a 19 or a 20. So go ahead and make a deception check. While Pogo is trying to spin this lie here, I'll just flat out tell you guys that you see a male halfling that is pulled out by one of the other soldiers, a man that's pulled him out. And he is gagged, and his eyes are covered, and his hands are bound behind his back. But despite being kind of caked in this mud and swamp muck and everything, you recognize this halfling, that this male halfling that is clearly a prisoner. He was actually at the Crow Fort with you guys for a little while. He was a part of the Cranog Irregulars. His name is Bull. It seems that they've captured him. What did you roll there? An 18, almost.
Is that the one whose family knew about the scales? Or had something to do with the scales? Or was that one of the other?
He told you guys about a story. It wasn't his family specifically. It was, like all halflings are all family in the sense that, this is the third cousin twice removed type, like, the nonsense of going back further and further generations, which is a common trait amongst halfling families to do. But as far as he did tell you about this story, yes. But he was also, remember, okay, the Kenku?
Yeah.
You guys came across him in that Kenku here in the same Cranog. It was different, it was further away from this spot, but he was a member of the Cranog Irregulars that were trying to get rid of the Vabians in Cadogan here. This is his home, and it seems he was captured based on being gagged.
So I have a writ of passage from Vabi. Is that the one that would work here? If for us to pass through?
They're Vabian.
So it's and then I would pull out my writ of passage, and I would calmly walk up and show that we are given passage from the Vabian Empire, and that this is what we're using to go ahead and track down some of the people like this one you've got caught right here.
He squints a little bit. I'll go ahead and let you use the you misspelled Juthriths.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
That's really fucked up. I remember that actually. You copied the entire thing. You didn't I don't know if you just intended to just copy one.
Yeah. No, I think I actually copied an entire note thing that I had on there.
Yeah. That was the forged one that you made with your forgery kit, right?
That was one that I think we all made together. It was a while ago, but yeah, we made it with a forgery kit that we left most of the forgery kit because it was heavy as shit. So I just made those, and I think we left it.
If I remember right, you rolled well enough that I didn't make you put notes in there that it was half-assed or anything. So she steps forward, still holding the spear in your direction. The others haven't moved. They're all kind of standing off the side of the road, essentially near the black gum trees that you guys had stepped out through. But she steps forward, grabs the paper kind of roughly out of your hand, and spins it around and reads it over.
I'm holding Firebolt just in case something goes bad.
Holding, you're ready. You're not holding the Firebolt out, but you're prepared, readying your action.
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right. So not a direct threatening action. You're just
no.
Okay.
Just if they decide to kill us, I'm going to throw a Firebolt at them.
Okay. She kind of reading it over. She says, "This won't get you through here. I don't know what your intent is, but these people that you're searching for, you're not going to find here."
No, we were told to go back to Cadogan to try to find some sort of spies or something that are going back to the town. More like him. Where'd you find this? Was he from that city? I'm just going to try to keep her talking. I'm going to try to just kind of... I'm going to try to talk enough to lower their defenses a little bit. Make them feel less... At minimum, make them just feel like, maybe these aren't good or bad, but maybe this is second guess things, I guess,
All right. With you speaking...
If possible, I'd also like to kind of chime in and just kind of not so much woo them, but lull them into a sense of confidence in.
I like
in
woo. I'm gonna woo them.
Yeah. We're gonna lull them into a sense of confidence, so they'll be less reluctant to combat us a little bit. But if possible, I'd like to assist with some form of a either persuasion or deception, whichever you prefer. So I'll assist pretty much.
I'll say that specifically because you're Vabian as well. Like you're still obviously Vabian, even with your melty face and all. With that you could probably assuage some considerations there as well.
And when you're going around looking for other people, it helps to not exactly look like you. Sometimes you can get in more doors or into other areas without working.
Well, Gleeman too are generally welcomed across cultures anyway, just because they bring news from place to place and so on. So even if other people may not be, or even if the nationality you technically are, they still would more often be welcomed. But
and I'm also going to be walking up to Bull, just not pulling a weapon or anything. Where did you find this one?
He so I was going to say this a moment ago too. When he hears you speaking a whole bunch, you see him lift up and you see his ears twitch a little bit. Like he's gagged and he's blindfolded, but he clearly recognized your voice. Like he kind of stepped up a little bit and was more tense, I guess, in recognizing you. We found him skulking through the Cranog here as we were told to. What is your intent? Do you know him?
Doesn't look familiar. It's kind of hard to tell with the blindfold and the gag on him, but
he seems to know you. And you see him kind of stiffen a little bit.
And I'm just, I'm not going to do it in like a weird threatening way or anything, but I'm just going to like take his blindfold off to see if I recognize him. Like I think I do, but I'm going to take it off, pretend, because he's heard me talk now. It doesn't look familiar to me, and I'm going to take the ball gag out, and I'm going to take his thing out, and I'm going to take his
ball gag.
No, not a ball gag. I'm going to take his gag out. I'm gonna take his gag out and his things off to try to get a better look at him.
Okay, hang on. As you're reaching for him to try to, lift up the blindfold, she aims her spear directly at you, downward towards your neck. He's our prisoner. You're not taking him.
I wasn't planning on taking him. I won't touch the blindfold thing. Okay.
What is your intent here? We can't let you down towards
going to Cadogan. We're supposed to be meeting up there.
What is your intent in Cadogan?
Our intent is supposed to look for more people like this one. People who might be working for the Crowblinders or other sources, or maybe now apparently we're hearing that even Imperialists might be trying to infiltrate.
And you just come walking out of trees to go search for spies?
Yeah. It's a hell of a lot faster than not walking through trees. You ever done it?
No.
Well, I'd recommend it if you ever get the chance. What do the other soldiers look like at this point?
Give me a deception check again, specifically for your intent, for telling her, you're lying about what your intent was. Okay. 1 sec. Nope, wrong button. Alright. I can't let you down towards the town. I don't believe you are who you say you are.
Do you really think that we would just be walking through this forest without some sort of...
You weren't walking through this forest. If you were, I would be less concerned. You walked through the tree.
Does no one in your company know how to use any kind of magic at all?
Those that do are down there still. And you look towards the town, and I've mentioned this a little bit, but there's strange glows of different colors coming from the town. It's not fire, but it's clearly arcane of some sort. You don't know, which nature.
How far away is the rest of the group from us? Like how close?
She's right next to you because she walked up to you to take the paper from you. So she's right next to you, and there's 5 others, and they're between closest probably 5 feet and 10 feet at the furthest.
Okay.
All surrounding all of you.
Mm-hmm.
How about you? And you don't say a word. She points at you, Pogo. Don't say a word. She looks at Norok. What is your intent here? The Gleeman has a quick tongue.
It actually is exactly what he said. us coming through here through the trees is just a means of magical transportation. A friend of ours has saved us from the long days and days of walking. So
you're here to search for spies.
we are.
Make a deception check.
And I'm just gonna cast Eldritch Blast. How far away from this woman are we?
You're right next to her.
Yep, I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast on her all 3 times. I'm doing it. Sorry, guys. I don't know what this is gonna end up with, but I'm doing it. Kadoosh!
No diplomacy skills, man.
Nope. 1, 2, 3, all 3 Eldritch Blasts. I'm just doing it right at her. I'm just not even waiting for Norak to fucking finish the sentence.
Sorry, I'm just lagging here. It's coming.
You're probably
A little too late, I'm sure.
No, it wouldn't matter. As soon as I heard that, I was like, all right, we've been made.
And he got a natural 20.
and a natural 20.
Yeah, but my other 2 probably might not have hit. So I will all
Oh, sorry, I didn't see the first one. Okay, so it was 15.
do normal on that one.
Hang on. So I only see 2. I see 15 and 13.
Should be a 15, a 13, and then a natural 20. Oh, where'd he go?
Oh, Ben got a natural 20
Oh, Ben got a natural 20. Let me do that one. My bad.
on his
So
deception.
the deception probably would have worked.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
All right, one of those hit.
Yep. I rolled damage. Just 9.
You, with her spear still pointed in your direction as she's looking towards Nark, not looking at you. You know, she's eyes are turned away from you. You release.
That's enough of a get away from me. We'll figure it out.
You release 3 of them, just kind of, but not able to extend an arm fast enough, just trying to get this off as quick as you can, kind of firing from the hip. You fire off 3, 2 of which just sail off over her head. The third does impact her kind of below her left arm, where she's pointing the spear towards you. She's immediately kind of struck by this and stumbles to one side a little bit, spinning the spear around back in your direction, trying to carve at you. She shouts, "Get, huh?"
Do I release my firebolt?
Yeah.
Sweet.
It'd be a 20, Justin.
What was that?
It'd be Tracy, I assume, right?
Oh.
20 beats my IC, yeah, by a little bit. If she's gonna hit me, then I'm gonna use my reaction also, and I'm going to hit her with.
There are much more peaceful ways of getting their leather.
Her spear was only 3, anyways, Justin.
Can she run a? I don't care. I'm done. She needs to do a dexterity saving throw. I tried.
B plus 2.
It's 18 for the save.
Oh shit! She failed to save too. All right, so you hit her with Hellish Rebuke as well.
Yep. And I take how much damage?
3. You only took 3 from the spear.
Sweet. She takes 11 more damage. I cast that black magic back up on her.
All right. You, as this is happening, as you all at once basically try to blast at her, the other soldiers kind of step behind the trees and they pull their spears up like they're preparing to either throw them. They're all holding their.
I feel like at least I bought us a little tiny bit.
They step behind, but you see standing beside you, as you were beside Bull trying to lift the blindfold off. He pulls his hands free and then yanks the gag down and shouts, "Stop! Stop! Stop!" and pulls the blindfold up. They're friendly. They're trying to get away. What are you doing? Why are you here? You see her stand back up as you guys all kind of blast at her. That was not necessary. I was just trying to find out if you were friendly or not. Do you know him or not?
I'm very confused.
Do you know
What
him
is
or
this?
not? Bull, you know them? You reacted. I assumed you did.
I'm now in my confusion. I'm like pointing my sword at Bull. I don't know what's happening. Someone tell me what's going on. Is this guy a good guy or a bad guy?
Yes, I know them. They're with the Pro-Blinders. They're fine. They're friends.
Did we just accidentally undercover police ourselves?
She kind of settles the spear down a little bit. Was that really necessary? I was just trying to suss out if you were friendly or not. He seemed to know you, so I thought you might be. He didn't need to attack us.
Firebolt miss.
It's very rare that me lying to other people causes this type of.
You know what's funny actually is that I knew if you did it, which is why I was trying to give Ben a chance, and then Ben gets a fucking natural 20. So like your guys' deception would have been bad in this case.
I like it. This reminds me of that story where undercover cops arrest other undercover cops.
Exactly. Yeah, the Gretchen Whitmer, I think it was, story. The story, I don't know, a year and a half ago or something like that.
Undercover cops arrest undercover cops pretending to be drug dealers.
Well, that one specifically was a bunch of I forget which ghost group they were, CIA or whichever one. Were a bunch of plants that were all formulated this plan to kidnap the, I think it was governor of Michigan, if I remember right, maybe a year ago. Remember?
What? I remember that. I don't remember undercover cops arresting.
The whole group was undercover cops. They were all like different sects of ghost groups. There's like one or two, legitimate people that they, zealots or whatever, crazy people. But the whole group was like formulated and formed of these groups who didn't realize that the other half of the group was also undercover.
How embarrassing!
So, yeah.
See, they could have just walked it up and said that was they could have just walked it up and said it was a great training exercise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, except that it was public that they were about to try to kidnap the, I think she was governor of Michigan or something like that. I'm sure I have a bunch of the details wrong, but yeah, it ended up being that the 80% of this group, of this plot, were all government agents. So, anyways,
I'll let Safia know that we've all been under a lot of stress. There's been a lot of ice dragonry the last couple of days, so we're kind of.
Ice drag. Let's get off the road. I don't want any others showing up. Walking out of trees, you kind of surprised us there. We didn't know what to do, so we just thought quickly and pretended that he was our prisoner. So let's gonna be in the muck. I know you guys may not like it. You can clean your shoes after, but we need to discuss, I guess.
Oh, I'm on the broom. I am not in that stuff.
Well, lucky for you. Soldiers don't have that option.
I'm gonna pull back my paper of import. I guess.
See if you can use it again later.
Back in my bag. Just out of curiosity, though, if we were for them, do you think you would have believed it? Do you think that was a good enough story? I'm working on my craft.
If he hadn't reacted the way that he did, I would have assumed that you were in some way legitimate. But your ragtag group here was so odd that it raised enough questions that I didn't expect that you would be actual Vabian agents. It was certainly suspicious.
You know what we should do, guys? We should get different garments of the different colors for Norok to wear, like a living billboard. So if we go to one place, you can wear big purple garments and look like one of them.
I got this really cool thing that'll make all of us look like different people for 8 hours. Yeah,
all of us.
8 hours. All of us look different for a solid 8 hours.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a little confused. All right, let's find a spot to talk.
So she leads you off into not far, and she kind of, it's clear that she's at least been here long enough to be aware of where to step through the Cranog, which would be a little unexpected for a Vabian. They don't have a lot of wet swamps and marshlands where she's from. But anyway, she steps through it like they've obviously been here a little bit. Bull's still lagging behind. So with the rest of you, as she and her soldiers are moving forward, so. It's a little complicated, but the Vabians are still in Cadogan, and they've destroyed most of what was left anyways. There's really nobody left, but Sophia and her squad here were defecting, and I happened to find them. So we were trying to kind of get out of here safely, and then you showed up. So what are you doing here?
Oh.
We were wondering, there was a survivor back at the other place, and he was wondering if we could just look to see if one of his relatives left it's a book of memories, a book of cherished memories, and he just really wanted it back, and we were under the impression that perhaps there wouldn't be too many soldiers here, and we were going to do a supply run while we were here, see if there's anything left that we could take back.
All right, real quick. Are you misremembering what actually happened?
No,
or are
I'm
you
lying
to him?
I'm lying.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if you were just lying to him or not. So
I don't want them to know why we're here.
That's fine. Yeah. Go ahead and give me a deception check.
Isn't that right, guys? We're doing a supply run to Cadogan to see what state it's in, to see if we can get any supplies.
You roll a 7 and get a 22.
Yeah.
Jesus.
There's a reason my perception, though, is 2. It's so bad.
Yeah.
My character's very lopsided, and not in the greatest of ways for certain situations.
There
isn't that
aren't a
true?
lot of one supplies, though those are pretty much all gone. But as far as finding a specific book, and do you know what family it is? Maybe I can point you at least towards the right house.
Myth.
that's as far as your level will go. You can't handle the web that it'll turn
Have a
into.
name? Do we have a name of the guy? I can't even remember.
Well,
Like,
Bowl
don't
is who you're
know.
referring to.
Bowl is
the one
the
that
Oh,
one
told
that's
that
my
story.
friend too.
Yeah, Bowl is the ones who told you that story,
Fuck
but it's not
you.
his family. It's like it's not a historical myth. What is the word I'm looking for? Like an old wives' tale kind of thing, basically. But it's it's well believed. Like it's a common cultural myth for the area. Let's say. Not as there's probably some grain of truth to it, but yeah, Bowl is the one who told you about that. But anyway, he well, I don't know what to tell you as far as what house, but if you're going that way, you're going to be one at best. You're probably going to be captured, and two, you'll likely be turned like those that are down there still are.
How many are there down there?
Well, and by this time you've caught back up. Sophia speaks up. She says, "There's an Erdeman and two Seerdemen and at least 2 squads of Mortrolis. Other backlights scattered around like my squad here, although we are trying to get out of here as quick as we can."
Are there any other like you that want to leave?
I don't speak with them as much as I do my own squad. I'm certain there are. There's something happening down there that we can't abide by. The Erdeman is giving us orders to dig any of the nearby graves that were left over, just so that the dirt is no longer impedance to them. That the townsfolk that were killed when the area was taken, and she kind of gives a sad, like a sympathetic glance, let's say, at Bowl, that the townsfolk that were killed are being raised by some new death magic indiscriminately and without the proper ritualizing that just mechanizes a mortis so that they don't have any awareness. And this new means of doing so that the Erdeman has ordered, the ones that come back are screams. They're just unbelievably torturous and cruel, and my squad won't abide by that, so we've decided to leave.
Are they controlled or are they out of control? Are they just wild?
They're still under the Erdeman's control and the Seerdemen that are with him, but it's unnatural. Don't get me wrong, we've used Mortis forever, for as long as longer than history writes, but as far as our methods of doing so is just a useful, responsible use of resources. There's no soul there. There's no sentience there. They're just a machine at that point. But what they're doing down there is cruel.
Do you know how many of the soldiers are still down there? Like the Seerdomen?
There's 2 Seerdemen. So the Seerdemen, remember that. So the Erdemen are here, I'll give you the names here.
There's
The
2
Erdemen.
Kikkomen. Those are the soy sauce ones.
That's a Vabian High Mage, is the Erdeman. Those are, remember Afotep, the one that was torturing Maibi?
Right.
That was an Erdeman, who you guys killed. Seerdemen are 1 rank lower than that, so they're the mages, but that's also Ozzy and Maibi are Seerdemen, or were, before they defected. But all of them are necromancers, or Erdemen and Seerdemen. So there's 1 Erdeman, 2 Seerdemen, well, basically 1 very powerful mage and 2 lower, slightly lower mages. And then at least 2 squads of Mortrolis, which are the dead soldiers, like the kind that almost killed Sarah, knocking her off the broom and everything. Remember, she doesn't specify whether they're the giant hulking brutes or just the regular soldier size. But anyways, there's Mortrolis down there as well, and there are the Mortis, which are the halflings there that they're raising. She doesn't know why.
Are there any giant hulking big dead things? Like,
Not
the ones that covered in armor floating around.
Not that I've seen so far. They don't seem to be.
Fucking hate those guys.
Yeah, they don't seem to be trying to raise an army. I don't know what the purpose even of raising Bull's folk are anyway. It seems, and I mean no offense by this, but of your stature doesn't serve us too well in the army.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's pretty logical.
Oh, where did you live again? Was it on the corner of, was it 10th and L? Where did you live, Bull?
One, it's a tiny town. There aren't even 10 streets in the whole place, let alone enough for a whole grid to get down to a 10th and an L.
The grid system. It's easier so you don't get lost. Was it next to the Pizza Hut?
The one that's not really a Pizza Hut anymore, but still has the shape.
That was the library.
It's the new modified Chinese food spot.
Yeah.
I'm like just now recognizing him. Like, oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, you're that guy. He and the few Cranoga regulars that
Do you
had
not
showed
remember Bull talking about your photo album that you had that you really wanted us to get that we thought might have been important?
He looks at Sarah. Did he hit his head? Or
Photo
something?
album.
He didn't
he's
have all of
gonna-
this gray last time I saw him. Did something happen?
I'm immediately self-conscious.
I just
Immediately.
have. I have my
It's not real
hand-
gray. It's the fake gray that you added,
Yeah,
Ness.
I know. But I'm immediately. I'm realizing just like.
Oh shit.
So Sarah's just got her hands over her face like she's ashamed, and all Bo's gonna hear in his head is he's talking about the scales, but he doesn't want to say it out loud.
Okay. There's a very, very brief kind of eyes widening recognition, and he just says, "Well, I mean, I lived down near the docks. There's a ruined little building now. It wasn't, of course, when I was there, but we had a little lighthouse. I mean, it wasn't really a lighthouse, of course, but that's what we called it. And I was just on the other side of the bridge from it. So that's where my house is." That answer your question?
Yes.
Well, why would you want to go down there anyway? Now that you're being, open about things here, is that really, your goal? He's asking two questions there, Sarah. I'm going to say that both Sarah and Pogo understand what he's doing. That he's asking the question that Sophia can hear the answer to, and he's asking the question that Sarah can answer. Basically, he's asking Sarah about the scales and asking Pogo if he can, keep up the lie, essentially, about just looking for spies. Because it doesn't really make sense why you guys would be going down there for resources, or other way around. Sorry, going down for resources, not for spies.
Well, we might as well also do reconnaissance too, and while we're here.
It's dangerous, though. They've been there for 3 weeks now, just digging up in random locations, and what bodies there are, and then they bring my people, the townsfolk. They just keep having them dig up other holes. So we don't know what they're looking for. They just keep digging.
Yeah, we're just trying to find anything we can.
Pogo's gonna grab a little rations from his pack.
Do you think it would? So, I mean, honestly, with you guys, either way, we're gonna end up going down there. Even if it's dangerous, we're gonna go. But would it be more beneficial if we went like a couple of us looking like Seerdomen and the rest of us looking like they're dead things that they control?
The Ornamen's powerful enough. He's going to see through your attempts at masking your appearances anyway.
Do I look already dead enough? I could walk around like a zombie with a melted face.
Well, where you come from, you'd probably be the most welcome. But apart from that,
I just meant like from a distance. Like if they were just to see us walking, would they just automatically assume that it was, us trying to sneak in, or would they notice that we were Seerdomen and not really worry about it too much?
there's probably 50, 60 Vabian down there, if you count the Mortrolis included, let alone, the Mortis that they've raised. I would suggest not being seen at all. If you're seen at all, they're going to take you to the Erdeman, and that would be a problem.
Remember, we can also, even if we're seen or found out, we can always kill some and then just run away. Find some area we can make a circle if we needed to, but...
You're welcome to try. I mean, the only reason that we had to stop was, one, you kind of surprised us, but two, we couldn't really trust that you were not going to have seen us and then make your way down there and tell any of them that we were, trying to escape.
Also, just so you know, there's possibly ogres in this thing, so avoid the ogres if you can. And use fire on them if you got it. Just say it, but
Becky, did you guys lose connection?
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Ben just dropped though.
Right, so he's got some weird thing going on with his fucking computer.
Right. What were you saying, Justin?
Oh, I was just saying, make sure you be on the lookout for ogres and other nasty things in this swamp. We've run into some things.
You mean trolls?
Trolls, that's the one. Use fire on the trolls.
Yeah, I'm aware of them. Bull, Bull is this is where he lives, so he's used to the inhabitants of the swamp here. Yeah, you did fight a couple of trolls out here.
We'll do our best and make our way through it. I still want to see what it's like. We're gonna have to create a report, and
I'll be
people
back.
we need to know what it's like in the areas around here, regardless.
Well,
Close
just be
enough.
careful. It's dangerous enough that you choosing to go down there. I don't
Hey,
expect us to
tips.
see you again. Don't get seen.
All right, but do you know the names of the Serdamin? Like their hobbies, perhaps? Like maybe I could do it. Like if I be like, oh, it's just me from, tennis. We did tennis club, and racquetball game. Remember when we played the racquetball? No.
As far as hobbies, I have a low enough rank rather that I don't particularly associate with the either the Seardaman or the Erdaman for that matter. But the Seardaman one is Aquila, and the other is the one is Cheops or Cheops. Sorry.
All right, I gotta add that.
Ben, you back?
I don't think he is yet. Hang on, we're still...
Give it a second, because I gotta...
Computer's freezing, so...
You got back pretty quick, but
All right, let's see. Seardaman. I just said the name of this town in Cadogan. There it
yeah,
is.
Cadogan. Yep.
Can you repeat those names, please?
Aquila and Cheops, and that's Cheops.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you, Neji.
Yeah, we're coming, loading up the Embers page.
So it was Cheops, and then the second one was Adidibid?
Aquila. Here, I'll put them in chat for you. Did you have to connect from your phone, G?
No, it's back on the computer.
What happened?
The computer was just lagging real bad because the screen went to go to sleep because I hadn't moved the mouse, and then it just started to lag real crazy after that. So.
Okay. It's the same one that I took up there like a few years ago, right?
Yeah, same one.
All right.
Just use it when we play. So.
All right. I need another one by now. But those are the names she gives you. The backlights are mostly stationed outside of town now. Now that there are enough mortis rays, they keep using the mortis to do the digging instead. But there's still enough of them down there that if you're all spotted, it will be risky. You see... You know what? Who wants to make a kind of a group persuasion check roll?
A group one?
Yeah, I mean, this is just going to be kind of a...
I could
Whoever-
do one if you guys want me to.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, anybody with decent charisma. I know yours is max 2. It would be basically anybody with higher charisma would have better odds, but so yours and Pogo's are both really high. Do you want to make it, Sucko? All right, Fox.
If you're okay, Pogo, I'm okay with it.
He just muted himself, so
Oh, all right.
No,
Well-
yeah, let's go ahead. I'm just eating my rations.
I'll roll it up then. Of course,
Here you go.
never fails.
Yep. So you get the impression that she was about to tell you something and then stopped and didn't. You guys heading in there is not a smart idea. I don't want to contribute to your demise and adding to the forces down there. This isn't the Vabby that I fought for.
Well, at least you're making a smart decision right now. If only
See.
only others did what you did, maybe no one would have to die in this. this
Well,
war we're having. You know, I do have a
Good.
question for you. I know you're not super high level in the military organization schema, if you will, but what are y'all trying to do? Like, what is your besides kind of? It seems like a rampage of death and destruction, and you know, I understand warfare, and I understand you might fight over land or power or gold, but it seems like you're doing something different. I mean, are you aware of what they're trying to do? Something more,
officially,
yeah.
officially, no. I mean, they wouldn't pass that kind of information down to a lowly sergeant. But as
What's
far
the
as
scuttlebutt? What's the scuttlebutt
yeah,
around?
as far as what the Khan's political discourse speaks to, is that the intent is to earn ourselves a better place in the world stage, just for our own people. I mean, we're a poor country. Everyone is used to living on minimal means, but when the empire decides to take even what little we have away from us, and no longer even pay for the regions that we share, or help us with food or anything else, or give us proper trade, what choice do we have? Even this, I mean, even the raising that we do down there, the let's say the proper way, the historic way that we've always done it, even that is only because what option do we have? We don't have, we can't support a workforce that needs to eat. So this is our alternative. We can't grow crops where we're at, and if they won't give them to us and still take from us anyways, then what choice do we have but to fight back?
You can always move, but no, I don't want to get into it now. I don't want to talk about that. Not our fault. Not your fault.
But what have I to do but try to get out of here and maybe hide somewhere in the north, maybe Kedril, maybe Pale, something like that, for some amount of time until things smooth back over and I can go back home.
Is your home back in Vabi?
Yep.
Is it an attractive woman?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with that information yet. I just thought I'd ask.
I don't know why
You're
you bother asking,
Oh.
but you know what? I'm gonna say, because you've kind of just to give you guys one more chance at maybe getting some potentially vital information, that you kind of tried to break the ice a little bit and have more personal conversation than just your intent. You guys can make one more, whoever wants to roll it, persuasion check for the group here.
But you guys
I choked on that last one. This is all you.
Alright. Alright.
What was that, Fox? You saying not you?
Not me.
All right, that's good enough. She kind of stops for a moment, and you see her kind of looking down towards the weird glowing lights down there, and looks back at you. You going down there is not a smart choice, but if you insist on doing so, the spells that they're using are not anything I've ever been in the presence of. It's something very strange, and they're using these foci to draw other magical energies and distort them and pervert them into this new death magic. And these foci are placed around the town down there. That's what those glowing lights are.
Glowing lights.
And to do anything about it, if you're trying to stop them, or if you find them in any way, if you can deactivate those, that would at least stop them from poisoning the what's left of the town there.
Well, that is some very good information. You know, as soon as someone comes up with a magic enhancement source that doesn't produce light, they're going to be able to make a lot of money. As of where it stands, it's pretty easy to spot.
Well, they are quite large and they glow a lot. They're very painful to be around as well.
And where are you taking these? Where are you taking everyone, Bull?
Before you move on from there, they had us set these up in a very specific fashion, and we set them up with the Ardor one first, and then Denel, and then Phanos, and then Recondidus. And I imagine to dismantle it seemed that they would have to be done in reverse order. So keep that in mind if you're going to do something.
Orders again?
She says that they set up Ardor, and then Denel, and then Phanos, and then Recondidus. And she's telling you that you'd have to dismantle them in that reverse order.
Ardor, Thanos,
How do you
Travel.
spell those?
Ardor. Yeah, these are names of rills you guys would all be familiar with. The order that they set them up in were these.
Gonna have to copy
There you go.
and paste.
So Ardor is fire. That's where the plane of fire. That's the rill that fire comes through. So fire magic would be heat in general comes from there. Denel is healing. A lot of Artabane's magic is Denel. Phanos is purple, and that's where you guys. Sorry, the color though, or sorry, the rill though. Phanos is the ethereal realm. That's where that thinny went to. The thinny that you guys just came back near is Phanos, and then Recondidus is like regular standard arcane. It's evocation
That's
essentially.
good to know. So where in Vabia you live? Any specific towns? Is there another Vabian waiting for you at home?
I wondered when it would come up. I've lived outside of Al-Qadir. In fact, I was involved with much to my shame, with the chain of dogs, evicting all of the non-Vabians out.
Well, it takes a strong person to change their mind on something like this and come to a better conclusion. It's pretty impressive.
We've had cons that were more politically adept, but this one seems to jump to war first.
Yeah.
Our situation's dire, but there had to have been a better way.
One of the hardest things to say, in life is I was wrong. The hardest thing to say is Worcestershire. Hardest bit.
That was smooth, Justin. Nice try. I like the intentional stumbling. That was funny. All right. As for where we're headed, though, I really, the goal first was to get up far enough up to the road that we could make it past the Vabians' wards, and then, assuming that you came from the Crow Fort, right? Is it still surrounded?
Oh yeah.
Well, then I guess we won't be going there.
I'm going to kind of look at her a little side-eyed when she says stuff. I'm still not trying to give away anything.
Sure.
I don't have to.
Oh, that was Bull. Bull was asking, because Bull came out of the Crow Fort, remember?
Shit, I don't know, Bull.
Well, then if the Crow Fort's still surrounded, I guess we'll just have to get to the road and try making our way north, see where we can make it. But if you're heading down there still, better leave soon while it's still dark.
We should go. And I'm going to start getting my stuff together. And I'm going to go up to Salvia.
Sophia.
Mhm. Oh.
Safia.
Oh,
It's
it's
just a
an
weird font. Yeah, that font, I can't see what the font is until I choose one, and then I have to reload it every time. So
Got
it takes 30 seconds to pick each one, and I just didn't.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna kind of get a little closer to her, and I'm going to give her 10 gold, and I'm going to kind of put it in her hands, and I'm just going to say, if you run into trouble, and this might help you on your way, I hope you get home safe, and perhaps you might be able to change a mind or two on your way, and don't forget about me. And then I'm just going to put that in her hand.
All right. She, yeah, really. I think I've seen that person's. I can't remember her name. I've seen her YouTube on pop up in my recommendations. A very high pitched voice, very annoying. If it's who I think it is. Anyway, she. What's the word I'm looking for? Sheepishly, I guess. Not ashamed, but very wishes she didn't need to accept it. Kind of the impression that you get. She takes it from you and gives you, kind of a quiet nod. If I find you again, I'll make sure to return this in double.
I'm gonna give her a fat wink.
Well, do what you can, but if you're able to disarm that down there, at least Bull's people will be able to rest easy. But if not, just get out and try to stay alive. It's not smart for you to be going in there in the first place, but do what you must.
Well, sounds like another day in our life.
All right. Well, they turn and they don't return to the road. She kind of directs them to nearer to the road, but enough that they're still kind of marching through the muck, in case other people come walking out of trees, and start heading their way kind of northeast up the road. What are you doing?
So maybe we should take these things out first?
Oh, I think that is going to. I mean, so the problem here is we don't want them bringing back more people to life, and if we maybe attack each one, if they're being protected by, like, for all we know, maybe we only have to take out one. Does anyone know about how these work?
I think
Well,
a clue lies in the names as well. Ardor, you said it's something like fire, Denul, then you have Phanos, and
healing,
Rickandus.
ethereal, and then
Recondite.
evocation.
I had an uncle that had reconditis.
We
A lot of antibiotics.
Yeah.
As they had described them, what those are doing is they're channeling. They're basically set up at a focal point, at different focal points, where there's a strong source of Reconditus, for example, and then Reconditus is being converted into this death magic, which Pogo and Nazim would know is Corvalane. So they're basically set these up at a think of kind of similar to a thinny, right? But you know, at a
They're
point
Mako
where
reactors.
I don't remember specifically where if the geographic location was important or not, but very well could be. But anyways, yeah, they're set up at specific points, and then those are being channeled and converted into the kind of magic that they need that is harder to find.
All right, Avalanche, let's split up and take out two at a time. What do you think?
Yeah, from here, looking at the city, we can see the lights. How far are they from each other?
They're actually pretty close. The town isn't that big. It's a pretty small town. Like you guys, the docks part that you guys were fighting the Mortrolus broods at before, where Sarah almost died, where you set off that explosion and everything. That was probably like a third of the town, essentially. So like you
I
saw
called Norok.
what?
If we're splitting up, I called Norok.
Oh. So they're not that far apart, and you can see these kind of glowing, the dim. It's not bright, but because it's dark out, as soon as the sun comes up over the mountains in the east, you won't be able to see these anymore. But you see a blue kind of sphere of color, a purplish one, a green one, and a red one.
Right, well, we have to take them out one at a time, and she said reverse order would be best.
They set them up in reverse order, and once they're set up, she suggested they be, if you're going to dismantle them, to do them in reverse order.
We should start, just to confirm, we should start with Reconditus. Right? We go Reconditus.
Yeah, Reconditus, but yeah.
Yep.
Reconditus. then Pahanos.
If it was TIS at the end, then it would sound like a disease, or would be, disease or.
Condidus.
Just cringing at this point.
This 13th level arcane practitioner doesn't know what the fucking name of the rill is.
My magic comes from my mouth, and then I'm gonna wink it out, man.
I'm just gonna shake my head.
Not my brain.
Rickets,
my heart,
Thanos,
and my
Denali.
mouth, and my other things of myself is where mine comes from.
Oh, no. Just, no.
My chest hair. Like Samson.
Oh, man.
I just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. So Reconditus, and then Phanos, then Dino. I say we go to it's like you guys all go to Reconditus. I go to the opposite side of the town, and I light a house on fire. And then they'll be like, oh, fire! And then we meet back up.
I mean, that's not a terrible idea.
It's a little fire. It's not like there's no one there anyways. I'll knock first, make sure.
Because then at least they'd be, on the way to investigate what the fire is. It'd give us more time to take this shit out.
And actually, I've got an even better idea. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get Pietro back, and maybe I can have Pietro start a fire.
Okay. Yeah, how long does it take you to summon him?
10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and sit down, and I'm going to summon, use my 4th level spell to summon Pietro back. I do not have his fucking thing that was lost at the dragon area.
Things got real chaotic neutral, didn't they?
There's no one in them. It's not a normal town, so just like if there were people in the town, it may be something different. But
yeah, but this is like they've already destroyed
this
town.
town's fucked. Yeah, it's not coming back.
I mean, they're gonna have to rebuild anyways.
All right, so you guys making your way down the hill then? Yep. Once Pogo's done with the summoning.
So basically, when I'm done summoning PD Pablo, I am
That's
going
that's
to.
his new name, Petey Pablo.
I think it was actually his last name, but he didn't die. I don't think so. I think he's still technically. I'm only going to change the names when I know they're dead.
All right.
I don't feel too bad about it yet.
He shows up. He's got a totally different feather pattern, completely different animal, but you still call him the same name.
Petey Pablo. So when we do this, I'm gonna need someone. Does anyone have a torch we can light, and I can have him fly to the other? Because he can fly a mile away from me. Because he can't light. He doesn't have thumbs, so he can't make a fire, but he can carry fire.
I have a tinderbox. I do not have a torch. But I
Does
mean,
anyone have a torch? Do I have a torch?
there's so much rubble here. We could probably just find a piece of
We could
lumber.
fashion
wrap
a
it
torch.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grab a piece of cloth
How do
from
we not?
something.
How
I think I
how
have torches.
how do 5
I
adventurers
gave
between them
you
not have a torch?
and Norak all the torches because I use my magic.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the Always Sunny episode where there's like, how did 4 adults in their 20s not have $50?
The bank account or whatever it is. Yeah.
The
economy. Yeah, the economy's in shit.
What's in the back of holding? Are there torches in the back of holding?
I don't think so.
I mean, who's got our shopping list? We need to.
You are. It's wet, to be fair, so you would need to dry the wood. But if you can dry it as you're walking with enough, produce flame and some heat and stuff to kind of dry out some tinder. Actually, you got plenty of swamp moss. You could do it that way. Just use a. You could easily. I'll tell you to just Artemis even traveling through this would easily be able to recognize.
Who here is good at things like this? This is not my forte.
This is an Artemis.
Cobblestone
Okay,
roads.
I'll just
soft
make
beds.
a torch with like moss and a stick.
Yeah.
And light it with produce flame.
Cool.
I've got plenty of them. If you guys
Well,
just
when we
want-
get close enough, I don't want to do it yet, but he can walk with us until we get closer to the 10. But as soon as we're ready to do this, he can go start. I'll try to get him to start. No promises. I mean, he's a bard, so we'll try it. So when we get close
there's a
enough,
sidelong bird glance.
yeah, I'm gonna. Sorry, I mean it's true. No thumbs.
Claws are better than thumbs.
So I'm gonna when we get to the spot that I think would be like far enough yet close enough, I'm gonna light a torch.
I'm gonna go ahead and move us
Tell
to.
them
I'm gonna go ahead and move us to that map then, and we'll just say that because you'd be near the edge here, but we'll say that you kind of set him off before that, and you can just tell me where you want him to be, and you can drop him on the map if we need to.
Okay. I would have him. I would do it kind of far enough away to where I could kind of have him. I guess. What's it called when you kind of go up on the side? Pincer from the opposite side, so he's not coming from where we're at. Kind of do a little wide loop, like a plane, kind of coming in for a landing, and then just drop it on whatever thatched roof near the opposite side of the town that he could find, or anywhere that looks like it's got a bunch of wood on it, just to create a big fire.
You guys have vision. You should have vision on here, but I don't think you do. Do you?
It's black.
Like nobody can see, right? Just black. Okay. All right. Let me redrag you guys on
My
that.
screen's freaking covered in crap.
All right. Norok, you should be there. There's Artemis. There's Nazim.
One more thing that I'm going to be doing while we are
Hello.
sneaking up, I'm going to be using. Let me see how long the gem is seeing last. Let me check that. I'm going to 10 minutes. So when we're probably 5 minutes away from the actual edge of the city, I'm going to hold up the gem of seeing to my eye and use that to look through.
Okay.
All the
So this map isn't big enough that it would be 5 minutes out. So if you're doing it from 5 minutes away, are you looking for anything specific or just looking in that direction?
No, I'm looking at specific things. I'm looking for any kind of danger items, so any kind of invisible enemies. I don't have dark vision, so I'm going to be using this so I don't trip over.
Oh, you're
shit.
you're using the gem to even just walk?
Yeah, I'm using it to walk, but I'm specifically looking for enemies in our path. But it has true sight out to 120 feet.
Okay.
So anything that sparks me as suspicious. I also still have my other eye open, so I should be able to see differences, something like strange.
You'll have
things
what
that might
open?
be. My normal eye.
Oh, you okay? Gotcha.
I got one eye through the gem and one eye normal, so I can see any kind of weird
Okay.
fluctuation.
All right. Well, you send Pietro off. Then he flies off. He's got an aerial view and able to see a little better, but he flies off to the southeast a little bit, and yeah, that's okay. So I guess what direction did you get? Just look for anything with it.
Well, yeah, so just the opposite way of where we're going, and I'll be able to telepathically kind of tell them that.
Sure.
What are we gonna like make ourselves invisible or something, guys, or look different?
Yeah, so this map isn't huge. Remember, it's a tiny little town. It's not that big. You basically, it's a bunch of houses along the beach, and you guys are, just to the right of the destroyed docks. And he flies off to the southwest, kind of towards the docks area that you guys were in before. You guys are just to the east of that, essentially. But you're kind of approaching this Pogo. Let me look at True Sight real quick, because there's something that you could potentially have seen here, and I got to make sure whether you would be able to see that with True Sight or not. Because I think you probably can. Do normal magical darkness, invisible creatures, objects. All right, so no, they're into the ethereal plane would be potentially useful, but nothing stands out so far. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you though that even as you guys are approaching the edge of town, you're hearing what are the obvious sounds of undead kind of groans. It doesn't sound like they're moving much. It's just the kind of quiet groaning that you've heard when you've been near Mortis in the past. The dead slaves. But you approach the edge of town here. What's that?
So we gotta sneak in, guys. We gotta weave our way in the shadows.
Sophia and her group, how many of them were there?
6 total with Sophia. Each squad is usually 6 for backlights. Okay.
Well, I mean, I could pretty much turn us into their group, at least, so if they see us, we're recognizable. It's not as jarring as seeing a bunch of halflings and a, dog, elf, and a melted face man running around.
Do you think the magic works like that? They're just like...
Well, she said that the Erdoman would be able to see through it, but that doesn't mean that the others would.
I don't know.
At the very least, it'll buy us some time.
Like they're gonna see us and be like, oh no, they're wearing the right clothes.
Well, they may have orders that anyone who doesn't look like the people that were there, they attack.
Oh yeah, make us look like. Can you make us look like those? Oh wait, maybe don't run. Ah, fuck it, just do it. I don't mind it. Can't hurt.
I mean, they just left, right? So it may not be.
No, okay. They didn't just leave. They were
know who just left and who didn't just left.
Well, they were stationed outside. All the backlights are in a perimeter essentially around the town, and because they no longer are using the backlights for the digging, they're basically using the halflings that were here. They've raised them up and are now using them to do all the grunt work. The backlights are out there being guards, and Sophia and her squad are defecting.
To get past the guards, anyways. Can you make us just look similar but like different?
Yes. So here, let me just put the spell up here so you can see it.
Who are we to fight economical progress? It sounds like this is a very good workforce.
I mean,
honestly, as far as them using dead soldiers, that's dead slaves rather. That's normal. That's how the Vabian economy works.
I just don't like how they're doing it.
They're just doing it, in a very fucked up way right now. Basically, they're using cheap Chinese labor now instead, and it's leading to a lot of unnecessary pain and suffering.
Oh hey, I can be like 4 feet tall.
Why not disguise us as the workforce then?
It's not a terrible idea either.
Pull a Walking Dead, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we still have to get through the Beckelite guards because they're surrounding the town, right?
No, the Beckelites are further out. You're already through the perimeter. You came through the perimeter when you met them. They were the perimeter.
Let's do that. I like it.
You just have the Seerdomen and the Erdomen to worry about.
And all of the dead. So there's 2 kinds of dead here too. Yeah, depending on what you guys want to do with them. There's 2 kinds of dead here. There's the halflings that have been raised, and those are not super threatening. They're not trained. They're not soldiers essentially. And then there's the armed soldiers, which are Mortrillis. So Mortis are just the dead slaves that are right now just halflings. And then Mortrillis are the dead soldiers that you fought before. Those are actual Vabian trained dead soldiers.
So, based off what we've learned about them from fighting them, do the Mortrillis, because it sounds like what she was saying was the Mortis, they don't have a consciousness to them. They're just brought up without any kind of thought, like an animal.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, whereas the Mortrillis...
Well, both of them. Yeah, both of them are supposed to be no consciousness, no...
Oh, the Mortrillis are like that too?
Yeah.
Would we know from our experience with the Mortrulis if, like, how their minds work? Like, do we think if we looked like them, they wouldn't attack us? Or is it some more base? Is it like those, like, do we think it would help? Or do we think it wouldn't? Like, do we know any of that?
Let's see. I don't remember from your backstory. Did Pogo spend any time in Vavi?
No.
Okay.
I'd tip
I would say that'd be a subtlety in the cultural environment in Vavi that Pogo wouldn't know. For no question about it, that Nazim would just know. He grew up with it forever. Sarah Arteme and Norok spent enough time in Vavi to also know. So I guess everybody except for Pogo would know that answer. So if you actually ask the question, somebody can answer it for you. Are you asking the group then?
Yeah.
Yeah, then if you're discussing it as a group, you guys would know that if they're kind of raised the correct way, which you expect the Mortrulis all are, they don't have a think. There is no decision making on their own. They only follow orders. That's it. They're just robots. They're mechanical.
Like,
essentially, they're flesh
anyone who
robots.
doesn't look like us, kill them. They just do.
If that was the orders they were given, exactly. Yeah. Otherwise, they're not going to do any thinking on their own. They can't.
In theory, if they are still corpses, they're just reanimated corpses.
Yeah, but she said
Yeah.
the Mortis were different.
That's it.
Oh.
Specifically, the Mortis, the ones that are just the halfling dead here, are being raised in a different way using Corvalane instead of Demolane. Demolane is the kind of neutered version of death that it was okay. The Corvalane one is the one is bad, and that's what Pogo is raised with as well.
As a corpse, could they still be influenced with Dance Macabre?
Potentially. It's still, I believe so. I would need to see the spell, but I think so. What are you guys doing? You're at the edge of town, basically.
Yeah, make us look like the dead. We gotta still stick to the shadows and try to avoid, but maybe we can get to the first few, and disable them before we have to run into one of these other things, or at least one. I feel like we're probably gonna have to fight them regardless.
Probably.
They're all around. Like you're hearing.
No,
these
no,
groaning
no. I don't
sounds
mean like we can get away from.
Oh, you
these
mean the
guys.
necromancers, the Urban and the Urban?
Roof a little bit, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about the big guys. But maybe
Yeah.
we can get through one of them, and maybe if we get through one of them, it'll disrupt their magical connection or something.
Worth a shot. So then, am I making us look like? I mean, I can make you and me look like Morgus. We're already halflings, but
Might be a fat one.
sure. The rest of them will have to be more trellis though, because they're bigger. I can only
Okay.
make people look a foot taller or shorter than they already are. Norak's gonna be a hard sell.
Just make him look like a Mortrulis. It'll be fine. He'll be
You
down
have
to
seen,
7 feet.
yeah, you've seen Mortrulis brutes, which were ogres. I mean, those were bigger than Norok. So, yeah, no, I'm not saying you've seen
I
them
just
here, but
don't
in
know
fact,
that- yeah.
it was on the docks. It was on the docks, like a few hundred yards from where you're standing right now, where you saw them recently. In fact, so
I might have to step away for
works.
just 1 minute. I
Alright,
have a
Sokka.
DoorDash showing up in like 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Alright, then I guess me and Pogo will be Mortis, and you guys can let me know what you want to look like, and I will do it, and then everybody else will be more trolls.
Whatever's the most believable.
I want to be a mostly naked, very fat, like older, balding gentleman. Like the only clothing is like a sweater tied around my waist, awkwardly.
Okay. And I guess I'll just make Norok look as close as because he won't be able to get to the right size, but I can just make him look like a big soldier.
Yeah, I mean, I will tell you too that even, I mean, you haven't seen a Mortrulis Yogg, but there's nothing that says you couldn't, the Vavians couldn't have made one. So even if you just kind of try to emulate as best you can of the Mortrulis brutes that you did see, you'd be close enough.
Yeah.
You feel like you're getting close enough.
Alright, so I'll do that with him, and then, I mean, Artemaid, do you have any preference at all? Otherwise, I'm just gonna make you look like a Mortrulis, like a Vavian dead soldier.
Whatever's believable. No preference.
You don't have any. If I was a zombie, I'd want to look like this.
Nope.
All right. Then you're using seeming. Becky?
Yeah.
All right. Then does that concentration or no?
No, it is not.
Wow.
That is why
That
I
is
got
a
it.
really powerful spell.
And it lasts for 8 hours.
Yeah. All right. So you finish that. Each of you kind of looking at each other for a moment, trying to remember what you look like. Huh?
And I will leave Nazim looking like himself, only maybe less melted and just more dead.
All right. I think Sako might be AFK too, so he doesn't actually get a say in it. No, he's grabbing his food. All right, but you finish it, and you kind of each take a moment looking at each other to, in case you get split up, memorize what what you look like right now, so that you can hopefully recognize each other without alerting things. What are you doing? You're at the edge of town here.
Very important to walk a certain way.
Right. But are we all going for the same one, or like 2 and 3 of us going here and a couple of us going for the
How
next
do they
one?
look from each other? Are they within like 120 feet of each other?
Hang on. With your true sight, you can't see through walls is the problem. That's what I was looking. That's what I was checking for.
What is it, like a blue or a white glow and like a green glow on mine?
Yeah. So you can see. Yeah, if you guys get close enough, you'll be able to see where the lights are on the map.
I'm back.
All right.
I just broke my headset.
Oh, they're not too far. Oh, no.
Good. Perfect, Sako.
Yeah, I think there were at least these 2 are definitely within 100.
I say if those are the 2 that I can kind of pull out and see on the map, the glowing areas, we should split up.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, too, that you see... actually...
Fire on the other side of town?
Nope. Well, yeah, off towards the docks, there is a very loud, ear-piercing screech, and you see, like a matchstick falling through the air and hit something, and nothing, there's no spark, no nothing. But as you guys are doing this discussion and then, looking at each other and kind of studying what each looks like, you do see the beginnings of smoke, like a small fire.
To kind of fly around a little bit, like further away from the town, but maybe perch in a large tree and stay there for a bit.
Okay. All right. But you do see the beginnings of fire there. You do know, though, that based on at least these buildings that you're near, they're pretty badly destroyed, and there isn't a lot of flammable material still left. So it'll probably still be a fire, but it's not going to spread, and burn the whole town down, kind of thing. Which is probably better for you guys, benefit for your purposes anyway. So, all right, what are you guys doing?
All right. So who's going where?
Okay.
I guess 2 of us go the first one, and then or 3 of us, and then 2 could go the second.
Which one's which? Where? I guess if you're going to split up, go ahead and tell me where you're going. You can go ahead and start moving yourselves too. I'll pause it if we get to a point where you trigger anything.
How about Serafina, Norok, and Arteme go to the west, and me and Norok head down to the east. What do you say?
You said Nora
Me?
twice.
No. Okay, so Sarah. So you, Arteme, and Nazim go to the west. Me and Norok head to the east.
All right. And west is what one?
Right.
Remember, you guys can't all see though. Norok can't see. Arteme can't see. Pogo can't. Pogo's using his gem.
Fuck this. Let's just all go to the same spot. Let's just.
Because
I could give Norak dark vision.
yeah, if you want to change that, that's fine. You also, I'll tell you too that the chorus is almost full, which is giving you guys a small amount of vision that you can see around yourselves for about 5 feet or so you can kind of navigate a little bit, and you can see where the glows are, those lights that you're able to see in the distance, but otherwise, just traversing without tripping over things is going to be difficult, is what I'm saying.
Well, I would hop on the broom with Sarah, so I wouldn't
Okay.
really need to be able to see it. I could give Norak dark vision.
Okay.
I mean, and we'll float low enough so Nazim can just have like a hand on the broom, and we'll just lead him.
Okay. Nazim's
I can
floating
still see
anyway.
a little bit.
Yeah, Nazim actually has
Yeah.
90 feet of dark vision or something.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
can
Yeah,
still see.
so he's gonna have the same as Norak. So he's gonna be fine walking with us.
Sweet, so we're good.
All right, Ben, I'm going to change your token to give you the proper dark vision range here, so you'll actually just be able to see it. But remind me to fix it so that you don't permanently have dark vision. Otherwise, I don't remember if it'll update. So if it'll still be the correct one next week or not. Depending on what map you're on. But at least now you should be able to see a big radius around yourself.
I can still see technically because I have my stone for a few more minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll do the same thing for you too. Yours is 120, right? Yeah. Just remind me to set it back for you guys so that it's not permanently on.
I'm always very aware that I can't see in the dark. Right. Let's just start. So do we know which of these is Recondidus?
Anybody?
Artime, would you know which one's Recondidus? I feel like you would.
Not off the top of my head, I don't remember what color they are.
Typically,
I think Dental is normally blue, but that's about it.
Dental's usually green. Recondidus is usually purple or blue. Phanos is almost always purple, and Ardor, being fire, is usually red or orange. Yeah.
So let's sneakily make our way to that blue light coming from down there. Come on, guys, let's do this. As I am a fat little halfling wearing nothing but a sweater tied around his waist, holding a fucking gem up to his eye.
A zombie version of all of that too, by the way.
Old,
big terror in the gut with intestines spilling out. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you too, Pogo. As soon as you start moving south, peeking through the gem, because it was 120 feet, and I just added 120 feet, you see the top of a bald head with tattoos on it, just down the slope, right from there. If you stop there, straight to the south of you, standing, floating a little bit above the water, like 10 feet off of the coast, channeling something into the water. And that's clear. That is not a Mortrolis. That's clearly either a Sirdaman or Urdaman. You don't know.
And he's not looking in our direction?
No, looking away. He's looking into the water.
Okay, I am going to turn around and just do a whisper motion to my ugly old halfling face and point that direction, and I'm going to quickly move across out of a visual range of this person, blocked by some debris.
Okay. As soon as you approach that wall there, you can hear very, undisturbed but quiet, pained sounds, like crying almost, coming from the other side of the wall there.
I'm gonna ignore it.
Okay.
I'm on a mission, and I'm gonna.
Right. So right there. So right there, just inside the building. As soon as you come around the wall there, I'll unpause, but basically right around there, you see two halfling zombies that are kind of just groaning in pain and leaning over, kind of reaching up and covering their head, kind of smashing their hands against their head like they're in pain. But they're clearly undead and not all there. But these are obviously the mortis that have been raised and are not the kind of quiet robotic dead that you've seen in the past.
Not even gonna pay any mind. Just gonna side eye it for a second, and I'm gonna keep heading towards this blue light.
All right, are you going by yourself?
No, I thought everyone was going with me.
Yeah, so we're good.
Making my way.
Making my way downtown.
Artime, you're on the room with Sarah?
Yes, because I can't see.
I mean, if we're all.
Oh yeah, you gave Ben dark vision and didn't even give it to yourself. Wow.
I'm on the room. I don't need it right now.
All right, just for the sake of simplicity, Fox, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put dark vision on you too, just because you're on the broom with her. So you remember you won't actually be seeing this, but just so that you can see where to move your token. Okay.
Okay.
I figure that's fair. Then you can
and using my true sight, do I see anything else around this thing?
I'm trailing right behind him.
Okay, Norok.
What looks like a stone, I suppose.
Yeah, you see Mortrolis soldiers right beside it. Like they're set guard, maybe.
I'm going to keep zombie shambling.
Ben, I'm going to move you down.
If you want to move me, it's hard for me to tell kind of what the terrain is. Is this up really high?
Yeah, you're at basically the edge of a ledge. You won't really be able to get through that, you don't think, because there's too many brambles. You'll have to go to the west and then south, it seems like.
So I'm just going to keep... basically, I'm just going to keep shambling my way through until something weird happens.
Okay. Do me a favor. So initially, I wasn't sure how you guys were going to approach this. This isn't a stealth check in the typical sense, in that you're not trying to be sneaky. You're just trying to blend in. And I'm still going to say that's. I think performance is probably best. So let's do a group performance check. So everybody roll performance, and I'll click the average.
Oh boy, I'm feeling this won't go well.
No, well,
Yeah, it was originally going to be stealth checks for everybody, but specifically because you're kind of trying to blend in like this, I think performance is probably best.
Not as
Good
bad
so far. Hey, we're
I'm
still
also
even
going to
with the
give-
low rolls. We're
Before we do
average
this,
is
too,
okay.
I want to give Bardic Inspiration to Norak because I feel like his is going to be shit.
Yeah, he didn't roll yet, so Nora, go ahead and roll yours. And
I was gonna tap and be like, I believe in you.
Right. I'm actually going to be
D10, you said?
walking.
You know what, Becky? Yeah. Well, G, first roll a performance check, and then you'll get to add a D10. What was that, Becky?
And it's shit.
I'm actually going to be walking and just have my hand on the broom to kind of like guide it a little bit with
Yeah, 'cause I guess it would be kind
can't
of.
see because I'm supposed to be dead, so I'm assuming I shouldn't be floating on a broom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you passed it without, so you still have your inspiration for, what is it, 10 minutes, Soko? Or, sorry, Justin?
10 minutes. You can use an extra D10 on the roll.
Okay.
So if you want,
sweet.
Jeremy, I don't mind leading the group on this one. I would just keep stumbling, shambling around until I got, as close to this stone as possible.
Sure.
I'm just going to try to kind of walk as close
That's
as I
fine.
can get to it.
I'll go ahead and drag you guys up here a little bit. Your guys' checks, even with Artemis got a 6, but with average, you guys are still. You feel like you're making convincing zombies at the moment. You make it to the edge here, and you can see this destroyed house here, where the walls are all smashed in, surrounded in zombies, and there's a couple of more trolls in there as well, and a glowing purple kind of chunk of stone of some kind. And there's you guys should be able to see this, but there's this thread of energy that keeps passing over your head and down towards the shore. Where you guys seeing that on the map?
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Purple one.
Yeah, and it's heading down towards the shore where you saw that Erdeman.
But that's
Or where you saw
the not the first
That's
one.
yes. Yeah, I'm just saying you see that you have to pass that. Well, no, the blue one is still south of you, if that's where you're heading. I'm just saying you see the purple one right there, as you guys are kind of heading that direction. I'll go ahead and move you guys.
Purple's
down
the
a little
last
bit.
one, right? Yeah.
purple's the second one. So it should be
Red
blue.
one's the last.
Yeah, it should be
Got it.
blue, purple, green, red.
Um,
I'm just moving you down further down towards the blue.
I'm gonna kind of turn around and I'm gonna kind of look at Norak and I'm gonna be like, kind of like the purple one, like maybe you should stay back there.
Alright. And I will wait while that one.
Up to you guys. What are you doing? Are you gonna walk back over there, G? Or well, have stayed there, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. Then I'll put you over here. You're still looking like one of the brutes, so you are with the performance check you made. In fact, actually, at this point, I would probably need to potentially use you guys as individual roles, depending on how much you split up. Although, don't meta that and have Artemis not go somewhere just because you rolled bad. That wouldn't quite be fair. But as far as Norak standing near that, you do see that there's a couple of more trolls through the broken walls. You can see them, G, and a mortis there as well. So you're surrounded. They're all over the place, but they don't seem to be paying you any mind.
My plan was to stay with Sarah anyway.
Okay.
Do these things look like are they crystalline?
They look like ore. They're glowing, but they look like rock.
How close are the guard or the Mortrillis to the rock, the blue one? I can't still see
10
them on
feet.
the map.
Yeah. I mean, you can move yourselves. Go ahead and move yourself wherever you want to.
So I am going to get. Oh, I can't see them. I guess they're right around the corner somewhere.
There's a rock wall of like a building. Part of the building is in the corner. Right
The
there.
building cuts through, though, right?
Yeah, there's a hole in the wall to the right of it. There is a mortis standing right in the way, but if you move
I am just
one more
gonna.
square to the right,
Oh, there's a mortis like in front of me. Or...
if you move one more square to the right, then you'll be able to see.
I'm just gonna kind of like shamble through.
Okay.
So I can see. Can't see any. I just see a stone. Maybe they're still hidden from me.
No, it's directly south of you. You guys should see it.
I mean, I see the stone. I just don't see any bad guys.
You're standing on one right now. You literally moved on top of one.
Yeah, I don't see any either.
I don't see him. Is he hidden?
I
No.
don't see anything but
I
us.
see like a skeleton just above the blue crystal.
Yeah, that's what you should be seeing is the skeletons, which are the Mortrillis, and then zombie. Just to make it easier, I made the skeletons all Mortrillis tokens, and the mortis, the halflings, are all zombie tokens.
I see a tree.
Right there. Both of you guys refresh real quick. I just put you guys so right now there's one zombie right between Sarah and Pogo, and
Well,
Artemy, you're
I
standing
don't
just to the
see-
north of one. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. What I was gonna do is I was just gonna get close enough to see them both, and I don't think I know enough because we didn't really plan past this. I'm probably just gonna cast Shatter.
There.
Well, before you do anything else, though,
Yeah.
there's something else that you guys would be
there
seeing when
they
you
are.
approached here. Okay, so you see them now that you're refreshed?
It's
Yeah, so there's 4 guys around us.
Yeah.
Um,
Ben, you see them up there too, right? Ben?
Let me pull it or move the thing. Yeah, I can see. Actually, the light only lets me see like a little purple thing kind of in front of me, like a little wavy thing. Looks like it has like a little
Yeah, you
triangle
don't
inside of it.
see. Here, I'm gonna move you. There's
Okay.
not a skeleton standing right next to you. Okay, refresh yours too, then, G.
All right.
I just moved you back.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna, I guess, break the eye. I mean,
Well, hang on. Before you do anything else, though, it's important that you guys would, notice this as well. Looking, because you guys are on a cliff, kind of above the beach right now. That's why that cliff area you couldn't really walk up without going through the brambles. You guys are standing near the edge of a cliff there, and just over the bottom side of the cliff, down to the south of you, Pogo, you definitely see this through the gem. You'll see a Seardaman down there on the beach. Do you see him?
yeah, I see him.
So
He's
there's one
looking at-
there.
Fucking
Yeah.
fan. Yeah.
Well, both. So there's one there. You can't see the one to the right, but there's at least that there's at least 2 and an Erdeman. The Erdeman is definitely dressed differently, so you're guessing that that's probably the one that you'd seen previously. They're all looking into the water, but there's a line going between the crystal and them. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that if you break these or do anything, they're going to notice.
Yeah, I'm gonna let them know because my dark vision apparently is a lot better. That I can see the Erdoman.
Yeah, you can see him over the water. Yeah,
So I'm
and in
just
fact,
gonna
you can
make
see something in the water too. Actually, from where you're
Yeah,
at.
yeah. There's
I'm
like
just-
a tornado thing out there, guys.
I'm just gonna make a gesture to the thing and like a hand gesture, like breaking a stick and put
What?
like break.
Walk me through what that is supposed. What
So-
that gesture's supposed to
So
mean.
like
Gesturing.
I'm gonna like kind of like point to the stone, and then I'm gonna take my hands together like they're holding a branch and like like a fake crack in two, and then point back at the stone like.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
use message. The second we hit this thing, they're all going to come at us, and the Erdoman and a Seardaman are down there. Like, we are not that far from them. And the Erdoman has like a twister thing out in the water.
He's channeling something into the water there, and it's creating a whirlpool in the water.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
you
looks
can't.
like a tornado.
That's the only art that I had. So yeah.
Okay, and then Pogo is going to, and then Pogo's going to kind of point.
Message.
You can respond to message.
Oh, okay. Let's all just attack this nearest Seardaman and just kill it right off the bat.
Right. So
Let's
we
take them
should
out.
bring Morok back down here.
No, he's fine.
Jenkins?
He'll be our secret weapon.
Oh God.
He can't do anything. He's too far away anyways. Hey, Norak, out of curiosity, are you wielding your nifty fucking sword that you can throw?
Axe you can throw.
Yeah. Would we notice if he's carrying his fucking big ass axe?
Oh, speaking of Ben, did you guys change out your guys' attuned items? Because didn't you unattune Vulcanbreaker for?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I was wondering if you reattuned it.
I think I did. Yeah, I got my stuff redone.
Okay.
I've pretty
Ben,
much
I mean,
put it up to what I want right now.
Yeah, Ben, you usually had both attuned, so if you want to adjust it to like what would be, what Nork would typically have, that's totally fine. It
Yeah,
won't be
okay.
metaing because if it's what you would normally do.
So essentially, the Erdoman is only like 20 feet away from the Seardoman. So as soon as we attack him, he's gonna notice.
But we'll murder them all, then we'll destroy the stones.
Oh my God, that's why I'm saying we should just bring Morok down here.
Message him.
Real quick, before you do anything else, Sarah, before anybody does anything else, give me an Arcana check with advantage. And in fact, the DC is going to be pretty low. I would say this is almost below your passive unless you roll real awful.
Actually, no, because I didn't say that I would have put it back and actually Norak probably would have enjoyed having the extra defense because he feels a little bit more safer from hits when he wears the armband.
Okay.
So I still would have had that equipped, and I wouldn't have bothered to change the resistance to it, which is still necrotic. So I think I'm just going to keep it there.
Okay. So you,
because honestly, I didn't say
smurfed
that I did. So I mean, and then I think Norak, because
totally
I thought my
fair,
sword, so Norak would have kept the armband then. For
Yeah,
now.
no,
So he still has it all.
as long as you're being fair to what you would have chosen to do and aren't just meta knowledge, that's totally fine. So in that case, then as far as weapon is concerned, you still have the sort of stolen hours.
Yes, that's what I have.
Okay.
And I happened to notice he wasn't carrying his throwing thing anyway, so
Yeah.
let's get him.
Well, at least I mean, do you want him to make his way down here? Because they're
Well, real quick, hang on. From that Arcana check, it just so happens that these threads of energy that are passing between these glowing rocks and the Sirdaman and the Urdaman down there on the shore, they look similar. The threads of the rills being used for these look similar to the channeling spell that you've just been studying for the last few days. You do realize that if you attack first, these are extremely empowered mages down there because this constant channeling of energy that is flowing into them. You still can, just they'll be a lot more powerful than they would be if you were to block that first.
Right, so we should at least take out one crystal and try to take out the rest before we have to fight.
So because of your angle too, you can see that 2 of the crystals are flowing into one Sirdaman, and 2 of the crystals are flowing into the other Sirdaman.
So we should
it's gonna
probably
trigger no
try
matter what.
and we could try and destroy like 2 consecutively because Norak's up there. We destroy the blue one and then have him try to destroy the other one.
And then I'm gonna. Oh, go ahead.
The green one was up on the other side, right?
The green one's right, all the way to the right. But the only 2 that we can get before maybe anything else happens is the blue and the purple.
Which is the
why
first and
Norak-
second.
I mean, I could try to start making my way towards the green one while you guys destroy this.
Well, I don't know if you're messaging me, but I'm gonna hold up
Yes, I am
3
messaging.
fingers, and then I'm gonna hold up 2 fingers. And what are you messaging me?
Exactly that I can start making my way that way. Because there is, and it looks like there's an opening in the street that would give me a clear shot to the Urdaman if I needed to, cast a spell long range while I'm making my way there.
I'm gonna respond back. I think we should just destroy this one for the one above us, and then try to move over there.
Alright, then let me...
And we should when we do a count of 3, I'm gonna look at everyone. I'm gonna bring up 3 fingers, and I'm just gonna
wait.
And point at the stone so we can all attack at once, or at least some attack.
You don't feel like the stones are gonna take much to break.
Oh, okay.
They're just rocks. They're just floating ore that is there's probably something in there. Maybe potentially crystalline, but they don't look like they're that durable. You can probably knock them out of, just hitting them will probably knock them out of the point that they're in, and that geographic point is what's relevant here. They're just being used as a focal point.
So quick
That
drop, kick,
changes,
and run.
that changes everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to. You don't feel like you're going to need to, hurt them a lot. Like a small amount of damage will probably be enough. I'm going to go ahead and tell you it's 10. If you do 10 to any
I would nod to you and go.
Hey, if it's that simple, that light, let's just all choose
Grab a
one
different one.
and just use our rocky talkies and say, okay, I'm gonna hit this one first, and then when this is down, then just like a chain, like they said, take them out in the correct order, and we just call it out on the rocky talkies.
I'm gonna kind of
once we destroy them, the glow will go out.
And then we all meet
Nazim.
in the middle.
Yeah. So that plan's perfectly fine. Real quick, Nazim, give me a, I guess, history check.
History check. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna send you a whisper here real quick.
Pogo's going to kind of point at himself and point at the blue one and he's going to stay there for that one.
I just sent you a message, Sako.
I'm going to start making my way towards the green one. And
I'll
as
go
I
with Sarah.
On the broom?
pass by
Gotcha.
Nork
Alright, so-
again. Oh, go ahead.
Before you guys
Sorry.
split up, go
This is something that I guess I remember through my history checks.
well, because culturally you would know that that's how this works. They're
Naturally,
only under
naturally.
command, so yeah.
So as soon as the Ordermen and the Cedarmen are aware of us, they'll control the undead to attack us. So as soon as we tap one of these bad boys and they know that we're here, it's on. So we should probably either knock one out, stay together, and move to the next one, knock one out, or drop all of them at the same time, knowing that everyone's going to rush us, and we all meet in the middle and just go crazy. Windmill style, Bart Simpson.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
time.
I agree, because it'll weaken them. Because they're siphoning more power. They're souped up right now.
Yeah, so if we smash them all, have them rush us to the middle. First of all, we need to find what, quote unquote, the middle is between all of these crystals, and then designate that our battle area, and then smash, run, and then hunker down, fight them off.
Just get as close to where we came in as possible.
The red one, I thought I saw a glow down over here.
Yeah, it's down, way down to the south.
I could take that one. I can fly on the broom and be up in the sky where at least the dead can't get me then.
Sounds like a plan. I'll go with you.
Pogo is so nervous that, like, all this movement and stuff is going to... Alright, I'm just waiting. I'm just pretending still to be undead, fat, and naked.
Alright,
Waiting to
I
cast
will
spell in blue.
Message Norak what's going to happen, and I guess me and Artemis will make our way to the red one.
Okay.
Which
before-
leaves Nazim to go to green.
Nazim
I
said
can
green.
go to whatever you want me to, because I can just shoot a whole bunch of Eldritch Blast, kill it from a distance, and I can already be halfway to the middle.
Go to green.
This
I've got
middle
ways.
that
Which
you guys
way
are discussing, what is this middle that you guys are trying to get to?
Like, I'm thinking we're kind of where we came in. Like, the
Okay,
middle
alright,
of
so
the-
that little kind
we
of...
need-
Okay, okay.
Yeah, we need to find out where all the colors are. So I see purple, I see blue, I don't see green or anything else.
Green was kind of back where you guys came in, Sako, so I can go ahead and yeah, exactly. If you just keep heading back that way, you'll find
The
it.
undead aren't like... They're not, like, look like they're on guard or anything. They're just chilling.
They're...
Because Pogo's
So-
feeling real dumb right now, just doing all...
So specifically, if you guys... So honestly, the only reason that you guys got in is because you're looking like them, and you aren't, like, you're basically, as far as they're concerned, you are just, other soldiers like them. They can't think for themselves, so there's no deciphering. They were just told to guard, but you guys are just, as far as they can tell, the same as they are. So, basically, that'll change, obviously, as soon as the plan is revealed or anything of that sort. But for now, you actually, either we're going to have to sneak through them to not, get the alert. They actually have an ability to. Just this ended up not mattering because of what you guys chose to do here, but I'm going to put this on here. They all have that ability right there too. So if you guys fucked up and then, ended
Nice.
up, if they survived if you basically didn't gank one real fast, then it would end up alerting everybody else for a certain radius too. But it didn't end up getting to use it because you guys stuck in this way instead. So very, very creative use of performance, of seeming. All right, so everybody in place where you're going to be. Sarah, you won't be able to move yourself. I'll have to move you over. Yeah, because there's a wall right there. So I'll move you and Artemis over.
Okay.
There you
So
go.
I'm also, while people are moving away, going to places, I'm keeping an eye on the Seardamen, and if I see them like disconnect or like raise to attack to one of them, I'm going to cast Shatter immediately, right in between basically the two Matrilis and the crystal to hit all of them.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm not gonna. I have True Sight, so I can see every.
one eye?
I can see. No, I can't see Norak, but I know he went up north already,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just wait. I think an appropriate amount of time. I can see them to the south, so I have no way of telling them. But I am just going to, I guess, start by.
You have
casting.
Rocky Talkies. You guys have your Rocky Talkies still.
We do.
So real quick, before we use the Rocky Talkies, I have a clear shot of green. Just tell me when to fire and destroy green.
Well-
I can immediately run between blue and purple, and I can meet everyone between blue and purple.
So remember,
And-
we have to do blue, purple, green, red. So
Gotcha. So just tell me, and I'll meet you guys between blue and purple somewhere. I could be there in like 1 or 2 moves very quickly.
and I'm just going to get in my Rocky talk. We already told Norak. I feel like Norak would know that he's supposed to break that second. Right, Norak?
Yeah, I messaged him to let him know that
Okay.
after you destroy yours, he destroys purple.
Norok, you are still standing outside the building. You know, maybe it's just discomfort of trying to walk past these zombies without them noticing you. I don't know, but you haven't moved in. You're not near enough to be able to hit the crystal at all where you're at.
Yeah, I guess we're not in combat, so I will move up there then.
I just wanted to make sure you were, if you were going to be ready, that you're actually ready. Otherwise, you'll have to move first and then try to do it, which would mean harder for you to be able to get back out.
Yeah.
As well, if you had Vulcanbreaker, you probably could have thrown it, but since you didn't have that before.
Well, actually, I don't know, because look at this angle, though. This wall right here.
Yeah, you can get through there, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm
you
throwing
meant
it.
where you were. Yeah, you would.
So I probably would have had to walk up here anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I make like an Arcana check or something and see would any damage shatter this crystal, or does it need to be like
It's
physical
10.
force
The number is
damage?
10. No, it doesn't. Well,
So they have
Like,
to. This is what it sounds
would
like.
psychic work or anything?
Well, like
it's,
fire.
the actual. You don't need to really even damage the rock. You just have to push it out of where it is, so that it can't be. Yeah. So
Keep in mind, I'm going to destroy the shit out of mine.
yeah, you can destroy them. That's fine too. But if you just hit it with enough force to move it, that's fine too. And what I landed on was 10. Just 10 hit points of damage.
Alright, then I'm just gonna whisper to Arteme behind me. Maybe we should just hop on the broom and I'll just like football grab this thing and you can shove it in your bag and we can study it later.
It's too big for that. It's
Oh,
yeah. It's
never mind.
it's like
Because right now
it's-
it looks like it's the size of me.
yeah. It's like probably 5 or 6 feet in diameter, and they're all like kind of lumpy and awkward shaped. Like it wouldn't fit in the bag even.
Alright, well, we could at least move it. So it wouldn't move it to in like a football tackle with it.
No, it's too big for that. Especially not for a halfling-sized football.
You gotta move
I got
it.
an
or
elf
crack it.
behind me.
Fox, is your AC really 20? That can't be right. I have it listed as 20 here. Mora scale. No, Mora scale armor is on there twice. That's why.
Alright, well then that brings me back to my original question then. Does it look like any damage would damage this?
I mean, if you want to whisper me a specific question, maybe not. But I mean,
So psychic damage, probably not.
I'm looking
psychic
at
damage
my-
probably not. You're not gonna. Yeah,
I'm
you're not gonna
looking at my
pop this rock into
spell.
blowing
Yeah,
up.
I can't cutting words the rock.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at my spells and a lot of my stuff is psychic
Paper, bitch.
damage because like I've got my shadow knife, but it does psychic damage.
It is psychic damage, really? I didn't notice.
Yeah, and I've got chaos bolt, but it's not a guarantee that I'm gonna get like force or thunder. like, would
But I don't
fire,
think
cold,
psychic
or
is even on that
lightning?
list, is it? Yeah, I mean,
It
is it really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much anything. I would say probably anything except for psychic is going to be fair.
You don't have
Great.
a little area of effect spell that a rock can't like fail a dex check or something.
I have 0 area of effect spells, except
do
for
have-
slow.
Yeah, so you do have it. So not just the rock, but as soon as this goes down, if you're not high enough up, I guess if you're on the brim, you probably don't have to worry about it. But there are 4, enemies right around that rock too.
Yeah, no,
So-
that was the whole plan why I
Being
went
up
for
there.
the farthest one away.
Gotcha. Okay.
'Cause I can just shoot up, and
Okay.
we can get out.
Well, Fox has options too, so you guys can discuss amongst yourselves there.
Yeah, you want to take it down. Already a chaos bolt in case you don't get it in one hit, and then we'll shoot up off the room and get out of here.
I could try hitting it with Produce Flame. Or I could hit it with 3 magical stones.
It doesn't need a whole lot of damage. The stones would probably be enough. What are those? Like 1d6 or something? 1d6 plus 1 or something? like that?
1d6 plus spell casting modifier.
All right, that's 3 or 4 for you. Yeah, I mean, if you did three of those would almost certainly be enough. And if not, then Becky or Firebolt on top of it or whatever would be enough to probably. If Fox rolls in typical Fox fashion, your Firebolt would probably be enough to finish it off then.
Great. Let's do
Okay. Sure,
Alright.
sounds good.
Then in that case, if you guys are flying up and over, let me go ahead and move you guys like over here probably, like out over the ocean a little bit. Can you? Yeah, you can see it now, right? You can move yourself. I had to move. Basically, there's a wall around that island, so you wouldn't have been able to move yourselves off of it. So go ahead and arrange yourselves wherever you would be. If you would be directly above it, that's fine too.
I would probably be here and just kind of floating up enough to be. I know that's a guy right there, isn't it?
What? That's a Cedarman north of you, yeah. But he can't see you with that cliff in the way.
No, I was talking about the guy right there because we would be floating up enough to have a clear view of the thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right, then real quick, so I guess if we're going to do this, if you're going to do them all in order, go ahead and tell me now. We'll try to get through this in a couple minutes here, and then we'll wrap up for the night, and then we'll get to the actual results of everything next week.
I am going to cast Shatter.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it so I hit the stone and the 2 zombies. Actually, it might even hit 3, but basically those right there.
Okay.
Destroy this stone.
Okay. The stone is, I think does it automatically? No, it makes a disadvantage.
You have to do an 18 con save.
Oh, a creature made of inorganic material such as stone. This is not even a creature. I think it just automatically fails. And
it just fails the con save, and it takes max damage.
All right. These guys are made of organic material, but they'll still have to make their save. Let's see here. Oh, I only had one selected. So 16 for the first one, so he fails. And another failure. All right, so they both fail, so they each take 19. They're not dead, but one of them is close.
And then I am
any bonus action?
Yeah, I am going to do a bonus action. I'm going to do maybe I won't. Yeah, you know what? I'll go ahead and I will cast my spiritual banjo at the one. I'll just cast it right in the middle, which will attack one of these ones that is now still hurt.
All right.
If I can fucking.
I just dropped it on there. Go ahead and
Thank you.
roll the attack.
Yeah, so let's put it right here, and then.
Come on.
Sorry, everything's go. I'm sorry. I'm as fast as I can.
That'll hit. I'm gonna roll the damage.
Damage.
Oh, actually, he had one left, so he's dead anyway.
He's dead.
These aren't the kind of the fully like brute style ones. These are the smaller soldiers.
And that is my turn, and then you're up, big guy.
So as this sets off, Pogo, you hear a cacophonous explosion of stone rattling down as it explodes, and then the shrapnel of it rattles all around. There is a shocked, sharp intake of breath coming from the beach in unison. Norak, it is you, assuming you're going to go in order then.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Just going to give it the old smashy with the sword.
All right. Really? Go and roll the attack.
Just a regular attack.
Yep. Oh, you're not frenzying or something?
Yeah, I'm not going to frenzy or great weapon or anything. Oh, come on, dude.
I'm too far away to do anything.
Far away, yeah.
Why did
too far away? And it's a
why
natural
was there a
one.
minus? Why was there a -1 on there? It says I have 0. Oh, do I still have? Oh,
You have
it
the
says
two
that I have
minus
great
fives.
weapon
You can-
master on.
Oh,
Yeah,
you do have bardic
Yeah.
inspiration.
Oh shit! It's it's still
I
the-
do.
Yeah, and it is a rock. I mean, if you roll,
It's a 10. You get a D10. So
yeah, it's a
imagine
D10.
you
So
get
this will be a 1. Actually, with your proficiency, hang on. Natural 1 plus 4. It'll be you're at a 9 right now.
Oh shit, yeah.
So sorry, you're at a 10 right now. So go ahead and roll the D10, and as long as you don't roll a 1 or a 2, then you'll still hit.
Come on, 3.
Natural 1 on that. All right, that'll do. That's enough. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Yes.
Just, as long as you do 10 damage to it, that's fine.
It's gonna be 9 damage.
Let's see. You didn't do your rage with it or anything, so you don't have all your bonuses yet. 12 damage. That is just enough.
Yes.
Jesus.
Smashy, smashy.
I did not think that Norak would be the questionable one of damage.
I know.
I know.
This is my avenue.
This is what I do. All right. All right. There's a shattering to the northwest. Actually, the light, by the way, disappears when you do this too. Not just the threads that pass between all of you, but even the kind of glowing emanation that's coming off of them. Nazim, that brings us to you.
All right, so I have a clear path, clear sight to that green crystal.
Just barely, yeah.
So I can chuck my Eldritch Blast. I do have 3 Eldritch Blasts, so I believe I'm in view of just one of those people, correct?
One of the Erdeman and the Seardaman?
Yeah,
I
down
have
to
to-
about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares diagonally to the right, lower right.
That's a zombie.
They're zombies, sorry.
Yeah, that's one of the Mortrollists, yeah.
Okay, so this is what I'll do. I'll chuck my first Eldritch Blast at the crystal. If it shatters, then the other 2 will go to that zombie.
Sure.
If
Yeah, that's
not,
fine.
then I'll just keep wailing on it until
Yep.
it goes down.
Go ahead and roll the attacks.
Here we
Roll
go. Attack 1. This is to the crystal.
That'll hit. Go and roll the damage.
Roll the damage to the crystal.
If it does 10 or more. Right, 9. So it still has 1 hit point left. So the second one will still go through crystal.
Bastards. All right, one more Eldritch Blast
Okay.
to the crystal.
That'll hit.
And damage. I need 1. Come on, man.
Yeah, you're good.
You can't get less than a 1.
Yeah. You're good there. All right. So the crystal explodes. Your last one going to go towards the Mortrollus down there?
Yeah, the Mortrolls, lower
Okay.
right-hand corner.
All right.
One more blast going out. Attack.
29 will hit.
That'll do.
That'll do, pig.
That'll
15.
do too.
All right.
Nice.
All right. The last black bolt of lightning intercepts this guy, pushes him away slightly. He is still intact as he kind of begins to right himself, and he groans, looking in your direction.
Do I have any movement after that, or is that just straight? Attack?
This was kind of going to be a quick all at once type of a thing. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to move yourselves a little bit, go right ahead.
5.
Your individual movement speeds don't go past that, but if you
Yeah.
going up to whatever your normal movement speed is
5,
fine.
10, 15, 20,
That's fine,
25,
just go.
30 feet.
And Arteme and Sarah.
I'm gonna use magic.
Okay.
3 pebbles, and then throw the 3 of them at
Alright.
the.
Go ahead and roll the attacks. That'll hit. And so will that. And so will that. You actually rolled well. Right, so 3d6 plus 3. Oh no, spellcasting modifier. So roll the 3d6. Your spellcasting modifier for you is...
I'll just hit the attack on the.
Yeah, the damage one's fine. Oh yeah, it's already in there, duh. That's more than enough. The crystal already blows up. The last one you could actually fling at somebody else if you chose to.
Okay, I'll fling it at the biggest one, I guess.
Okay. We'll take it off of one of the Mortrolla soldiers there. The last one is 7 damage. Alright. As the last crystal explodes, they were already clearly aware, but just to the north of you, Sarah and Arteme, down there at the beach, the Seardaman, or the Erdeman rather, that was channeling into the whirlpool in the water there, lifts his head up and sends both hands in your direction. You are... You used your... Oh, shit, you did not. Never mind.
I haven't
you did
done
not,
anything.
You have not done anything. That's fair. All right. We will pick up there next week with Sarah attempting to counterspell this. That would have impacted both of you as you were over the water, because that's basically, that's who he could see directly south of him there. The rest of you guys probably can't see this,
I
but basically...
just now realized you guys were over the water.
Yeah.
I do not know if that was a great decision.
Well, to be able to get around to the red one, they either had to be right over the island, which would have had them, if they fell, they would land straight on them. But being over the water gave them a little more view. It just means that they were also in view of the Erdeman. So the Erdeman is going to attempt to cast at them. We'll pick up with that and Sarah's attempt to counterspell it next week. That is, let's see, next week's the 19th. Everybody good for the 19th?
I believe so.
Yeah, looks good.
All right, everybody. And we'll pick up then.
Good job, guys. Talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
All right.